Hello, hello. What? No, 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 stop. Good evening. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for the braids and the pat. Welcome back. Welcome back to Twofold. We did. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. We didn't get terribly far last time when we started it. Oh wow, it's just like IRL. When I drove home today, it started raining. Like the further I got away from work and closer to home, it just got more and more. But supposedly, it's gonna have like double digits again tomorrow. So it's supposed to get like 11 degrees or something. So like, oh wow, that's almost warm. Except there's awful rain now, so I'm not sure. I look forward to that. Every time it rains, there are at least a few poor souls left milling about underneath one of the campus building entrances, mourning their forgotten umbrellas or raincoat. Today, Tanya and I joined them. Oh no. The storm came quick and recently. Might have missed the rain entirely if we had been hanging around in the writing club. As the two of us quietly bemoan our circumstances, Minnie joins us underneath the building's awning, having finished her tidying up.
All the times for the truck to be dead. I was gonna drive past the burger place on the way home too.
The good burger place.
The place with the giant spinning hamburger on the roof. With chipped paint all over the place?
Okay, maybe not the good burger place.
That's the one!
I feel like you could do a lot better for yourself.
The burger place. The awful one? Yeah!
It's cheap as dirt, though.
Nope, not good enough, sorry. Can't forgive any competition to our diner. Also, we have daily specials that run pretty cheap.
It's good that you managed to find work for yourself. The job market isn't easy these days.
So true. Also, I found out, like, if you look at the achievements for this game, it's basically, it's literally just finish the one route, so do melee and finish the other route. I forgot her name. God damn it. And then there's also an achievement for like, oh, choose every choice in the prologue, which I think you end up doing if you want to hang out with every single person anyway, which you want to do, because there's also an achievement for like becoming friends with X and Y, and we, I guess, are on our way to befriend Tanya now. It's a little bit of just read everything that we actually wrote. Here you go, thank you.
You're not hiring, are you?
Do you actually want to work customer service?
She gives a long sigh.
Point taken. Begrudgingly.
Tanya's stowing in her misery. I took out the mess. I look out to the mess of a walkway in front of us coated in mud and dead leaves.
Ugh. I'm gonna be stuck tracking mud into the apartment. Not to mention all the extra laundry I have to make time for now.
Rain's no big deal. It'll help the farmers out, given how dry it's been lately.
Realization strikes as Tanya's face slowly collapses. She's normally such an easygoing person that it's rather jarring.
Something wrong?
My laundry is outside. In the rain.
No!
Oh, screw this. Wait, I can give you a lift in...
Before she can get the words out, Tanya tears off across the grounds with her backpack above her head, her rapid fire swearing not quite drowned out by the rain's slow rumble. I learn a surprising number of new curses before she's out of earshot. Watching her disappear out the gate and over the road, I don't think that's the kind of solution I could ever commit to.
My car.
You tried.
Wait, how did you get to school today?
Bike, as always.
Can I interest you in a ride?
Yes. Absolutely. Exhausted from school and the rush to her car in the rain, I ended up sunk deep into the comfortable cushion of Millie's passenger seat by the time she pulled up at my place. She's a careful driver, especially in the rain, which suits me just fine. I do my best to pat down my wet hair with a sleeve, but all I do is rearrange the mess. Millie tries the same, to even worse results as strands stick to her face.
Thanks again. I was dreading trying to get home and all this.
Considering I saw you two moping about at the entrance, it would have been mean to just leave you there.
Ah, I don't know about moping. As my hand moves to the door, the shunting sound of doors locking rings out. Pulling at the handle a couple of times confirms the fact, only making me more confused.
Millie? The doors are locked.
Oh. She leans over the steering wheel with a smile on her face that's altogether too calm.
Tell me, what's on your mind?
Right now? Whether my body will ever be found.
Fair. She giggles, just audible over the noise outside. I close my eyes to resign to my fate. The inside of the car rumbling from the pounding of rain on the roof. Water pours down the windshield, reducing the street lamps ahead to shimmer blotches of light in the darkness of night. An occasional car shoots by, only to disappear as soon as it arrives.
One more try, Olive.
Ooh.
Is this about the club?
When is it ever not about the club?
Getting warmer.
Better that than this being about Haley's visit the other day, at least. Disinterested in the craft aside, I feel like I've been a model student, which narrows it down to...
I've been asking around, I guess. About the state of things.
She stares at me, patiently waiting for me to say the words she wants to hear. After a few seconds, I gradually work out what she must be pulling me up about.
And I may have been avoiding bringing it up with you.
A satisfied smile makes it clear I've come to the right answer. She sure pulls off a convincing impersonation of a teacher sometimes.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
How did you end up hearing about this?
People will tell you all sorts of things beyond what they're asked. I just struck up a conversation with them about you. You'll be pleased to know they're all quite opinionated on the subject.
How'd I know? Her smile doesn't wave as she delivers that line, which twists my stomach in a knot more than it should.
Look, I'm sorry for not talking to you directly, but I only avoided you because the club... well...
Is on its last legs?
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
I might try to be optimistic, but that doesn't mean I'm blind. You don't need to tiptoe around me like I'm a child. One thing still escapes me, though. Why bother in the first place?
It's entirely selfish, really. I was worried that if it fell apart, you wouldn't have a reason to tutor me anymore.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I have a lot riding on this.
It's the truth and makes perfect logical sense to me, but only seems to leave Millie more confused.
Did I say something wrong?
I've never seen that in a person before. So much effort put into convincing yourself you're not a good person. I promise to help you, with or without the writing club. Please don't call it selfish. Next time, just ask.
Offering sense of faith written on her face almost makes me embarrassed. And I think I'm wrong, but arguing that I'm not as good a person as she thinks feels like a strange hill to die on. A sharp shun of the doors unlocking reverberates through the car, breaking me from my thoughts.
Sorry for putting you through this. I don't often get the chance to talk with you alone these days.
You're not mad at me?
Why would I be mad at you? All I wanted to know was what's going on. To be honest, I was a little worried you were thinking of quitting too.
Oh.
I wasn't... Sorry, lesson learned. I'll keep you in the loop with this sort of thing, in future. See you tomorrow, Millie. Oh, and next time you drive me somewhere, could you keep the doors unlocked?
She just smiles as I step out into the rain and shut the door behind me, the hazards flashing away in the night as I jog inside. Stepping inside, I shut the door and take a long, deep breath, leaning back against it. My shirt's wet, sticking to my arms and dripping water onto the floor. My hair's a mess from the rain, and the water's reached my socks. Despite that, I can't seem to bring myself to care about such things. I've seen the side ahead of me countless times before, the same old apartment just as I left it. The rain outside pattering against the window, piercing the otherwise silent air, the broken heating, the aging television, everything the same as it ever was. Something is different, though. All this time worrying about being a burden on Millie has melted away, replaced with the feeling that we're a team. Guess I just have to live up to it then. I wonder what console that is supposed to be. I'm guessing a PlayStation of some kind, just from the looks of it. I was surprised to get a text from Tanya inviting me out for a trip to the bar with Millie this evening, especially given my status as a stick in the mud. Nevertheless, I was ready to validate that claim, initially rejecting the offer. Even if I didn't have plans on campus tomorrow, I had a shift for this evening. Emphasis on had, given how eager Mom was to pick it up when I offhandedly mentioned the invitation. My plans forcefully ripped from me, I find myself sitting at the same bar we visited near the beginning of the semester. I've been here for a couple hours, and my two drinking companions have wound down the excited conversations and have settled into a steadier, slower discussion. No doubt partially because all of us are a few glasses deep at this point.
Nice to see you guys a bit more chilled out. Everyone around school's way too wound up about exams.
Given what I've managed to pick up on lately, I don't quite think that exams are what's weighing on Millie's mind. In fact, when I look at her, it's hard to think of reasons why she wouldn't be stressed. Exams are the obvious one, her home life is a mess given attention with degrees, not to mention the writing club slowly falling apart around her. Probably another source of worry for her too as she tries to drag me over the finishing line of exams. She sure doesn't seem to have much sense of self-preservation.
Of all the things to stress about, exams seem perfectly acceptable.
In fact, I think you should be worrying about them a little more.
Come on, you know I'll be fine. There's still a month left anyway.
A month if you round up, maybe. She might do fine with her more hands-on stuff, but her general education courses are another method from what I've heard.
Hey, what's with that face? You too, Olive?
Millie lets her fan simmer a little. Tanya gives up and orders another drink for the two of them to distract from the uncomfortable truth. What is that, 4 tonight? 5.
I expect it from Tanya, but I'm surprised to see how mellow you're being about them too, Olive.
Once you make yourself busy enough, you don't have any time left to panic. That's my coping method anyway.
A lie, but worrying about it out loud would just stress Millie out more, I'm sure.
You sure you're okay balancing work, chores, and exams?
Do I have a choice?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Anyway, you should be focusing on your own well-being instead of taking on their stress as well. Unless you're trying to distract yourself from your worries by worrying about someone else?
It's nothing like that. What are you even talking about?
Tanya gives a knowing smirk while all I can manage is a weak blush.
Even though I've said this a few times now, I do appreciate the effort you're putting in for me.
You'd better pass your exams, you know. I'd look really silly if I did all this, only to have you flunk out on me.
It's me. Thank you for the videos. You lurk as you work? Okay, enjoy.
Oh, well, I was considering failing, but since you're so insistent...
Come on. Do we really need to talk about school while we're out drinking?
Fair.
There's not much else for me to talk about right now.
I sigh into my mug, still half full.
I should get a hobby after all this is over.
I'd say cooking counts.
Barely. I wish I could be as passionate about that as you are with your writing.
I'm with you on that. You've stuck with it for a while, haven't you?
Millie looks wistfully at her glass, holding it tight in both hands.
I think everyone needs something to cherish. It doesn't need to be another person, a hobby, a cause, a life's work. It doesn't need to be grand, just something to give yourself over to. Writing, reading, a club ended up being that for me. Without that, I think someone is like an empty glass. While it could be filled by others, it's nothing when by itself.
She delicately rubs the condensation on the outside of the glass with her thumbs. I can't help but go silent at her words. It's up to Tanya to break the overly serious atmosphere, Millie's glass filling with beer from Tanya's bottle.
Then you better keep your own glass full, eh?
Millie gives a weak smile and slightly awkward sigh, coming back to her senses. I think I'm finally getting a feel for how these two ended up as friends despite their differences. Aww. The night air sure has a chill to it these days, the air in front of our mouths forming small clouds as we slowly walk up the dark street. The sleeping girl on my back at least provides some warmth, with these arms loosely slung over my shoulders as I carry her. Or at least, I try to. My steps are a little uneven and I'm definitely swaying side to side, but luckily Tanya leans against me as a counterbalance. It's a small wonder this area is totally empty this time of night, giving the walk an almost surreal quality like we're only the only people left in the world.
I can't believe she managed to get herself that drunk.
You're not exactly sober yourself.
Neither are you. Millie's weight shifts as she starts sliding downwards, my heart jumping as I quickly pull her up again with a bit of effort.
Could you please at least try to hang on?
She snuggles into my back, possibly half asleep, or maybe just out of reflex. I never thought I'd be thankful for years of building up my strength by lugging around sacks of ingredients at work.
Thanks for carrying her. She doesn't usually get this wasted. Sure you're good to get back home afterwards?
It's not that far. I'm over the worst of it anyway. Thanks for giving her a place to crash.
It's nothing new. My place is close enough to the bar that she stayed the night more than once. She gets the couch, though. I'm not that nice of a host. Besides, we hang out at my place all the time. She's alright company.
As a long car passes us in the night's darkness, I continue to plod along with the weight on my back. Millie stopped rustling about, so she's probably gone to sleep completely. The fact she trusts me that much is a nice feeling. Everyone needs something to cherish. Even as the evening's gone on and my mind started to haze, those words have danced around in my thoughts since she said them. I know what's important to me and how important it is. For so long, looking out for Mom and doing my best to not disappoint her has been enough to keep me moving forward. I keep coming back to those words then. There's no tug in my heart, no butterflies in my stomach, merely an itch. Just below the skin, impossible to scratch. Millie slumps forward across my shoulder again, making herself just visible in the corner of my eye. I wish I could see in myself what you see in me. Being honest about my motivations, as selfish as they may be. Yet you push on anyway. You always there to offer up help whenever I need it, always with a smile on your face. The way you confidently assure me that there's more to it, you're so sure worth the effort despite all that, it's...
More than I deserve.
Millie readjusts herself, burying her face in my neck as I realize I let the tail end of that out into the air. I can only take solace in the fact that it barely registered to her, if at all. The same can't be said of the woman walking beside me, wearing an indulgent grin as I continue to redden.
What?
That's the first time I've seen someone fall in love.
Of course. If I haven't heard that sentiment enough before, this is definitely the tipping point. I let it aside, deciding a proper response not worth the hassle as I reinforce my hold on Millie's arm. Snow! Our discussion comes to a halt as the both of us stop walking, both our attention taken by the sight from above. Standing in the middle of downtown as cars drive to and fro, Tanya and I quietly gaze up at the falling snow. Snow! The next day. That's a lot of snow. That's where the snow from your gun ran. One of the worst things about living here is how quickly the weather turns. One day it's a little chilly outside, the next day a snow blows clearing the roads. Even though it's not freezing just yet, it's cold enough to bundle up a bit more than usual. Plenty of time until school starts at least. With downtown's traffic gets worse when snow's just fallen, I need to take it slow and stay vigilant. I'd rather not break something so close to exams or worse. Then there's the hangover I'm still nursing. With puffs of condensation filling the air in front of my face with every pedal stroke, the apartment building I've been looking for comes into view. Carefully looking around for traffic, I stop pedaling and let the bike cruise over to the roadside. Hopping off and holding my bike in hand, I press the buzzer for Tanya's apartment. I probably shouldn't be making house calls this close to exams, but I should make sure Millie's alright given the state she drank herself into.
Hey, Olive. I can see you from the window. Just leave your bike beside the stairs and head on up.
Thank goodness I can get out of the cold. Wasting no time, I quickly hop inside and do as she says. With the building elevator out, I finally make it up the stairs and gingerly enter Tanya's room, doing my best to hide my exhaustion and biking in, then hiking up. Having handed Millie over to Tanya at the door last night, I don't know what to expect inside. Oh, that's a nice room. Interesting window design. You're telling me she probably doesn't have any windows on those other two walls? The only windows are 4 of them. On that one. Oh. Okay. As Tanya turns from the window to see me enter, I'm pleasantly surprised. At the very least, it's clean. Faded video game posters, all the decor to speak of, with the reused boxes and cheap furniture giving the air of a place she sleeps in, but little more.
Didn't expect to see you here. Thought you'd be off to school like a good little student.
Figured I'd check in and see how things were after leaving Millie with you yesterday.
See for yourself. Hey, Millie! You've got a visitor!
What looks like a ghost slowly emerges from the bedroom to see the visitor, dressed only in a shirt and skirt. I think this is the first time I've seen her braids undone too. Half-dressed, disheveled, and in the throes of quite a hangover, it's a bit of a contrast to the fashionable and composed woman I'm used to.
Oh, it's Olive. Hello there.
Hi! Even her voice sounds pathetically weak. All I can do is grimace as I try to work out how to deal with her. Tanya and I waiting for the harsh noise of the snowplow to pass before speaking.
That's quite the hangover.
Millie just groans as her friend rubs the back of her head at the sight.
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, don't worry, I've dealt with worse.
It's not as reassuring as she thinks it is.
I'm gonna head to school for some studying. I can pick you up some food or something on the way back if you want to stay here.
I'll come along, just let me get my shoes on.
Yeah, don't tell me you're going to school like that.
And his concern goes unanswered as Millie shuffles back to the bedroom.
Thanks again for the invite yesterday. It was nice to forget about everything for a night.
She gives me a flat look in response.
You do know who suggested that you hang at the bar with us, right?
Let my shoulders slump and sigh. I guess it was optimistic of me to hope she'd let last night slide. Before I have to dig up a response to Tanya's irritating grin, the woman in question emerges, looking somewhat smarter this time around. At least she looks sharp while feeling half that.
Good to head out?
Sure, let's go. You okay walking?
Yeah, a walk in the cold sounds good right now, actually.
I would not want to go to school like in the same clothes I was wearing the day before and probably slept in. Absolutely not. No. And hungover? No.
Take care, you two.
Shut the fuck up, Tanya. Walking the bike alongside me, the two of us eventually reached the campus gate. The sudden temperature drop overnight barely even seems to register to her despite the outfit.
What's your business on campus today anyway?
Nothing major. I'm just here to return some books to the library. Tanya offered to come, but I told her I was fine.
Millie quietly opens her bag and slips the book in, still looking a little dazed. I think I'll stick with her just to make sure she's alright. It must have sounded convincing for Tanya to let her go without escorting her, given how she... I groan and cover my face with a free hand as I realize what's going on. Still playing the matchmaker.
Something wrong?
Oh, everything's fine. Completely fine. Let me lock up my bike and we can head over to the library.
Jeez. With Millie's books dropped into the return chute, she pulls up a seat beside me at the table. She gives a sigh unfitting for her age as she sinks into it, dropping her bag beside her chair. Nice and warm here at least, the sight of snow falling outside the windows adding to the coziness. Only a couple of other students are milling about, and even they're likely just here to pass some time out of the cold. Pinching the bridge of her nose, Millie seems to look a little better for some warmth and rest. I don't usually find myself at a loss for words around her, but I can't seem to find anything to say. Even Millie's uncharacteristically quiet, yet clearly restless as she plays with her braid. Realizing my leg is tapping on the floor, I reach for something, anything, to fill the air.
It's good you have a friend who lives downtown to pick you up. I had to ask my mom to pick me up the first time I went out drinking. Sort of put me off from doing it again.
Not your dad?
Dad wasn't really in the picture. He left when I was still pretty little.
Sorry, I really should have been more careful about that.
No, it's fine. Hasn't been a big deal in forever, really.
An awkward silence quickly develops, made all the more pointed by a student walking past us to leave.
Funny how things end up, huh?
Quiet is broken, and I'm just as surprised as Millie that it was me who broke it.
Starting down this road because of stress and anxiety. Only to wind up spending the night drinking with you like nothing was ever wrong to begin with.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Nah. The club might have its problems, but this is fun. Things might actually turn out alright.
I wonder how long it's been since I said that. I can feel the corners of my mouth tugging upwards a little just as hers do, both of us being glad that things turned out like
I guess this is a long-winded way of saying thanks for everything you've done for me.
You took an opportunity and it worked out for you. You should be thinking better of yourself, Olive. But thanks. I'm sure you'll get through the exams, even if I have to drag you over the line.
She gives a smile at my wilting. Even her optimism has its limits. I'm sure she means what she says, though. Thanks to her that I even remotely have a shot at this. She's about to say something more, though. The words catch in her throat. The visible pause before she continues on doesn't go missed.
I'm just gonna grab another couple books I wanted to borrow. Won't be a moment.
She takes to her feet, and I follow her lead and do the same. For the first time, though, I feel my head swim with the sudden change in altitude. My heart leaps out of my chest, and I throw my arm out to catch myself, grabbing onto the table.
Oh, hey! Are you okay?
Ew. She leans down close to me as I stand, offering her hand to let me up. I take it, heaving a steadying sigh.
Yeah, sorry, I
look up at Millie. The caramel eyes soften a bit as we lock gaze, a warm smile on her face when she collects that I'm fine. We stay like that. I'm acutely aware of her hand on mine, of how close we are to each other. Before I can even fully process what's happening, I instinctively shut my eyes and bring myself to my tiptoes as she leans down slightly to meet our height difference somewhere in the middle. We kiss, just barely reaching our lips together, too gentle to count. Millie's mind eventually catches up with her actions as she's the first to pull away, looking equal parts confused and embarrassed. I'm not doing much better. I step back and take a gulp to steady myself. My heart's beating audibly and my brain feels too fuzzy to form a coherent thought.
Ha
ha ha!
Was...
But no kiss, CG. Yeah.
I don't even know what I was... I mean...
Still trying to piece things together, her confused stemming eventually turns to a small laugh, which she does her best to stifle.
What a morning, huh? I'm sorry, I guess I'm just not all there yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm sorry, too. I wasn't thinking.
With a final sigh to exhale the last of her nervous energy, Millie's finally able to compose herself again with an apologetic smile.
Wanna just agree that this never happened?
No! It's only brief, but I find myself pausing before I answer.
Sounds good to me.
No! Why? Why would you say that? Oh, I see. Finish Millie Act 1. Pen to paper. Alright. I'm not a fan. Good morning, everyone. Today's the big day. The writing club room is open bright and early today. Yeah! Please feel free to come by. Olive's bringing coffee from the diner. Barf. Had me at 3. Feeling a bit. Just woke up. Blue. See you soon. Okay, thanks. Yeah, today's the day. For better or worse, in a few hours I'll be done with my finals. Whether that signals the end of the semester or my college career entirely is still up in the air. Given a drastic change in weather, Millie started offering to ferry me to and from campus. The car's heater usually does a lot to brighten my mood in the mornings, but it didn't do much today. I set up the carton of coffee somewhere on a nearby table and helped myself to the caffeine while Millie continues a text conversation with Tanya directly. She must have sensed my anxiety this morning. Honestly, I'd be surprised if she hadn't, and I spent the very few moments we've shared together so far reassuring me of how much progress I've made. I find it demeaning if it were coming from anyone else, but after seeing firsthand how much writing means to her, I don't think she'd be able to contain herself from giving honest feedback first and foremost. I'm not great, but I'm way better than I used to be at least. Sitting in this room has always brought me some level of unease due to the dire straits the club's found itself in, but today is a whole new level of stress.
It's good to see all of you this morning. Let's get started.
You have a new shirt. That's cool. Minnie takes her usual place at the front of the class, ready to begin the meeting.
I'm sure everyone's going to do fine, but extra preparation never hurt anyone. I know Olive is looking for some general tutoring this morning. What does everyone else need help with?
Even with everyone present, the silence is as familiar as ever. The only sound accompanying my restless shifting in my seat is Darren shuffling some papers around behind me.
Anyone?
Again, she's met with an awkward quiet. Then I looks around expectantly but doesn't chime in. Heather sits with her eyes closed and arms crossed, physically blocking out the room as much as possible. Darren sits in the back, silently fidgeting with a pen. As Milik's expression falters, mine follows not long after. I know she set this up for my sake, and having it only serve as a reminder about the state of the club racks me with guilt.
Well, I appreciate everyone checking in. Don't let me keep you if you don't need anything. I just wanted to make an open offer.
Actually,
Ada stands from her desk and starts her way toward the door, managing to interrupt Darren without saying a thing.
And here I thought you were gonna spice things up when you suggested an off-hours meeting. Fool me once, I guess.
Shut the fuck up. Tanya slams her hands on her desk and stands up, successfully falling for Hada's provocation, even if it wasn't directed at her.
Oh my god, I'm so sick of you! There's gotta be better entertainment out there than showing up only to make people feel like crap.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you raise your hand earlier either. Did you need some help? I'd love to be your study buddy.
I'd rather choke. I'm here because I'm supporting my friend. Where did all yours go again?
Hey, you two...
Even though she's trying to meditate, Millie's interjection barely even registers as audible. She's already lost control of the situation, a fact she's well aware of as she sinks into a corner of the room.
Support her? By causing a scene like this, that fearless leader of yours is looking pretty distressed, don't you think?
Don't you pin this on me!
Get real. You must be more delusional than Millie if you really think you're helping anything.
Do you two mind?
My question isn't loud, but it still manages to hold the two in their tracks, surprising them almost as much as it does me. Stepping into something like this is something I go out of my way to never do, but the anxiety surrounding my finals and Millie's distress only compound my frustration.
If you don't need the help, that's fine, but I do. We don't really have the time to get distracted by your fighting.
Hell yeah!
So, cut it out. Please.
I was riding high for a second there, but my bravado faded faster than I would have liked. Still, it seems to have had its intended effect as Heather rolls her eyes and makes her exit without another word. Along with her resentment, Tanya takes a breath to assess her situation. She looks to Millie, still visibly downtrodden, then to me. After a moment, she hangs her head, sighing.
I'm gonna head out too. Good luck with your exams today, guys.
She grabs her bag, everything still packed inside, and follows after her nemesis. Once the door is closed behind Tanya, Millie's shoulders immediately slump. They only stay that way for a moment before she pulls herself back together. Her smile returns, if noticeably weaker, as she makes her way over to my desk. She rests her hand on the chair in front of mine, pivoting the desk around so it faces mine, scraping unpleasantly across the ground as she does so, and takes a seat. Her smile softens, looking a lot more sincere than it did moments ago. Part of me doesn't want to disturb this moment by pulling up my worksheets. Unfortunately, I'm not even given the opportunity as she breaks eye contact with me. I follow her line of sight around to spot Darren sinking awkwardly into his chair. I sort of forgot he was still here.
Sorry about all that. Really, don't let me keep you.
I actually did come for the study session if the offer's still open.
He glances over to me for a second, his head immediately snapping back to Millie afterwards.
Oh, but I understand if you just wanted to focus on Olive, especially given their situation and what just happened.
No, not at all. Pull up a desk. I'll do what I can for you.
I've never seen someone so happy to have their workload doubled before. Darren reluctantly pulls himself from his desk, grabbing his various papers he had scattered across its surface in the process. After finding a desk near us, he places his papers gently down on it again, before repeating Millie's process of swiveling interfaces and pleasant screeching included.
Why didn't you speak up sooner?
Well, it feels like walking through a minefield with those two in the room sometimes.
Valid.
That's... yeah.
Yeah. Darren shifts his attention to his worksheets, flipping through the papers before finding the one he was looking for, sliding it over to Millie.
I just wanted to brush up on my geology, if you're willing. Here's an answer sheet.
Millie takes a paper from and giving it a quick skim.
Sure, I can do that. I'll be swapping between you and Olive, though. Is that okay?
I didn't expect anything else. I can help you with your writing class too if you want, Olive. Oh, and history, if either of you need that.
Oh, give it at a time. Good evening, Papa. How are you? I am drinking.
I'll take anything you're willing to give. Thanks. I can't really offer you much in return, though.
Was as the Germans say. So true. I get it.
No problem. I'm just glad to have someone to bounce questions off.
Sounds like we have a plan then. Since I already have the worksheet in front of me, let's start with you, Darren.
The three of us don't have much time before our final classes start, but we try to make the most of it. Millie juggling Darren and I's tutoring as best as she's able, with Darren chiming in to help with writing advice when he can. I'm still not especially confident, I doubt I ever really could be, but this is the best chance I'm going to get. The stress constantly rises up during Millie's quizzing, but it becomes easier and easier to push back down as the morning goes on. When it's over, we pick up in a tense silence, making small jokes and chatting to try and lighten the mood. Darren leaves first. Millie heaves a deep sigh, obviously worrying just as much for me as I am. Still, there's not much else we can do now. Pack away the flashcards last and exchange a shrug with her. Even with the thought of losing my opportunity to graduate, as I leave the club room, I can't help my mind turning from literary devices and thematic elements back to Millie. Back to the thing I was supposed to forget. Just gotta pretend it never happened and focus on passing. If I repeat that enough times, hopefully it'll stick. Oh! Act 2! Out of character. Oh, you're so cute though. I hope they don't actually get stuck with the car somewhere. Later that day. My shoulders feel infinitely light as Millie, Haley, and I make our way back out to the front of campus. With exams finally over and my grades officially out of my hands, the act of offloading my books back to the school felt like a hard-earned victory lap, one I was more than glad to take. Caprice didn't join us, of course she didn't, but things have felt sort of awkward even without her presence. Still, the quiet we share as we take our final stroll through the campus of the year is nice, and I'm fine with leaving it there for now. All good things must come to an end though, and nothing serves as better proof than the sight of Tanya locking eyes with us as she finishes rummaging through a truck, textbooks in hand.
Yo! Hey, three. Oh, drop off your books yet? How's the crowd in there?
Horrible.
We just finished, actually. Good luck, there's still a line forming.
Tanya's shoulders slump and her head drops. Eventually her free hand slips into her pocket holding a set of keys as they re-emerge. She spins right back around, opens the truck's passenger door, and throws the books haphazardly on the seat.
I'll just head home and come back tomorrow or something. Got better things to do than hover around a bookstore for an hour.
Oh no, hovering around a bookstore for an hour. Wow. Couldn't be me.
Mind if I go ahead? I'll get the car warmed up while you three talk.
Sure. Go ahead.
Millie takes out her own keys, passing them to her roommate. With a quick nod, Haley's off, ever eager to dip out of the conversation. Tanya doesn't seem offended at the act, instead wearing a big smile.
Grats, Olive! All that worrying was for nothing, huh?
I mean, I don't have my grades back yet. I literally just...
I'll let you know the answer to that as soon as the grades actually come in.
Jeez. Always the same with you. Oh!
Almost spin around from Tanya as she digs through her truck once more. When she turns around this time, she's holding a beer can in each hand, each shoved in mine in Millie's direction.
It's as good a reason to celebrate as any, yeah?
Do you just keep a six-pack in your truck?
What? No, what kind of woman do you take me for?
Obviously, I keep 12.
The kind of woman who keeps a six-pack in her truck.
A small giggle for Millie, a reward well earned.
The nerve of some people. No, I just went and bought some groceries before coming over.
I don't really want to drink on campus. Thanks.
I raise a hand to my chest to refuse the offer, only for Tanya to roll her eyes and direct her attention at Millie instead. Unlike me, Millie ends up accepting the offer, taking the can from her friend.
Thank you, but I'm going to have to side with Olive. I'll gladly take it home for later, if that's okay.
You two were really made for each other.
Oh boy. Millie's back straightens at the remark. If the cold wasn't already causing it, I'm sure a blush would be starting to form, speaking from experience.
I'm not drinking anything before I drive home, Tanya.
Yeah. Can of this watered-down garbage isn't any worse than that stuff at the bar, but I get it.
Speaking of which, I think it's about time we get going. Ready, Olive?
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, actually, mind if I borrow them for a bit? Just a couple minutes.
Oh. I turn to Millie, who returns a gesture in kind.
Okay. Just don't take too long. I don't want to keep Haley waiting.
Like I said, just a couple minutes. Now, shoo.
With a couple flicks of her wrist, she urges Millie along, leaving me alone to whatever mysterious fate Tanya has in store for me. My hopes of learning what's on her mind are dashed as she stays entirely silent, watching until Millie's out of eyesight as she disappears behind a row of cars. So, for what surely has to be the last time, Tanya turns around, sorting through a mess of a vehicle. Once more she returns, this time with a small box of frosted cookies, presenting them to me.
For Millie, obviously. She's typically bad at accepting gifts, so I'm dumping them on you so she doesn't get the chance to return them. It's a miracle she even took the can.
If you keep pawning off your groceries, you aren't gonna have anything left by the time you get home.
I think I'll manage to survive the night without a box of snacks and a can of beer.
If you're sure. I'll make sure she gets them then.
She'll need them a lot more than I do. Can't imagine having to actually live with the runt.
The animosity is still decidedly mutual, it looks like.
The club's kinda miserable, but it's gotta be better than her home life.
That's not exactly how I'd have worded it. I thought your opinion of the club would have been at least a little higher than that.
Only when Millie's in earshot.
Jeez. That stings, and it's only secondhand.
Hey, what's that look for?
Just thinking about how Millie would feel hearing that, I guess.
Don't you dare.
Oh, but why are you there in that case?
Nothing super deep. Once the club was in Millie's hands and it started falling apart, she needed warm bodies to keep it afloat.
That sounds weird.
She asked, so I agreed. Not the most complicated thing in the world.
So if it was doing fine, you wouldn't be there.
Definitely not. Well, same to you though, right? Wouldn't have even given it a second glance if your situation wasn't the way it was.
I have a hard time arguing that. Even now it's hard for me to get super invested in it, but I like to think I'm trying at least.
All that matters is that I'm doing it as a friend, and that's all that should matter. Whether or not I actually care doesn't make a difference.
We both stand there a moment, the conversation fizzling out with neither of us knowing how to end it properly. Tanya eventually breaks the ice with a stretch.
Anyway, I'm gonna freeze to death if we keep chatting out here. I'm sure your girlfriend is starting to worry too. Take care on the roads.
Not my girlfriend! Ugh.
Yeah, same to you.
With a nod, Tanya makes her way around the truck to the driver's seat. I sat on my track through the parking lot to meet back up with Millie and Haley, cookies in hand. Even if the intention is there, I can't help but feel like the gift is a little hollow now. A few days later.
Is there any way?
Sorry, for the last time, no. You'll have to look online like everyone else. I can't help you here.
But
Ugh.
in every way except physically strong-arming me out the door, the school's registrar kicks me out. So much for that, I guess. I drag my feet back to the admin's area, cozy little room for people waiting to speak to advisors or counselors. Usually there's at least a couple other people.
What'd she say?
Millie shoots up from the nearby couch as I approach. Besides her, the place is empty.
To just be patient. Ugh.
Shoot. I'm sorry. I thought it was worth a shot.
It was.
I slump on the couch. The grades were supposed to be up 2 days ago. Almost every other class has released them, but the writing professor has been silent to all my email attempts. I closed my eyes. I passed everything else, not with flying colors or anything, mind, but I passed. It was good enough. I rarely open them again, only when I hear the door opening.
Ollie?
Hey, Mom. Though she speaks up first, Mom quickly joins me in silence as we stare at each other in surprise. Millie's the first to break the silence.
Hi, Miss Penn.
Hello! Millie, right? It's good to see you.
What are you doing here?
I don't mean for it to sound accusatory, so I try to continue, but my mom moves me down and takes a seat next to me without a worry.
I was coming to speak to the registrar.
What? Why?
Well,
She laughs a bit like she got caught in the act.
you don't usually make too many mistakes at work, but the last couple days you've been distracted. I thought if I was able to get them to hurry things along, I could help ease your mind a bit.
She turns to Millie, who nods along.
Looks like we had the same idea, though. I was too slow on the draw.
It's fine. It didn't work out for us in the end.
Millie starts recounting our current trials this morning. The professor himself isn't anywhere in the building, the guidance counselor doesn't have access to the grades, and the registrar is very much unable or unwilling to help.
What a shame.
My mom sighs, folding her hands together on her lap. A little bit of guilt wrecks up in my stomach. She doesn't get a lot of days off, so coming here because I've been a mess at work.
Well, it doesn't have to be all bad. And sitting around moping isn't going to get us anywhere.
She perks up a bit, giving us both a smile practiced from years of waitressing and customer service. A look I've seen 1,000 times. Food is taking too long to come out, so she brings over some appetizers.
How about we head to the park for some fresh air? It's been a long time since I've been, and it's a lovely little area.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Oh, if I'm invited, of course.
After all you've done for us? Of course.
Well, we don't know if they've passed yet.
They laugh together at that. I shrug.
I don't know. I think I'll go home and check the site from there.
It's not gonna be up anyway. I think you should rather spend some nice time out and about, and then you can go home and check the site. And if they're still not there, you at least will be able to say, oh well, at least I spent those last few hours having fun.
Oh, don't be like that. Let's go get your mind off of things.
And if they're up, good. Between Mom's earnest jostling and Millie's expectant stare, it becomes abundantly clear the only way out is through.
Alright.
I can't promise I'll stop worrying about it, though. Otherwise you spend your time, then yeah, exactly. Like, I tend to be the same, though. It's like, oh, I'm waiting for something, and I will refresh and refresh and refresh, which is so stupid. Just spend your time doing something else, and then suddenly you will either get a notification that it's finally there, or you will just have fun and completely forget about it until way later. My unspoken disclaimer is ignored. The other two stand talking about the logistics of driving before deciding it would be easier if we just carpool in Mom's van. Yippee! That is a lot of snow. Shivering, Mom pulls her coat tighter around herself. I regret not springing for a new coat for her birthday. I put it on a mental list for Christmas gift ideas. Millie waits a bit ahead, lacing her fingers together as she looks around. I walk on over to her as Mom looks for the hand warmer she keeps stuffed in the glove box.
It's nice out.
It is.
Oh, to be young again. Since I hit 40, it's like the wind just goes right through me.
Do you want to head back? We can hang out at the Bell House or something.
Oh, it's my day off. I don't even want to think about work today, let alone spend even more time there. I'll be fine once I get the blood flowing.
She straightens her shoulders and braces, her wispy brown and grey hair flowing in the light breeze. We take off down the path around the park center. In the distance, some kids laugh as they run around, playing some sort of obstacle race. The parents are close by, talking over coffee and following their children, likely to race in if any of them fall.
Oh, I loved this park as a kid.
Ollie did too. Did you live around here?
Not really. We live on the other side of the bridge. I only came here a couple of times, actually. But it's so much better than the one we had by our house.
Mom and I would come here during her lunch breaks, so I got sick of it pretty quick.
Oh, Ollie, don't be like that. You loved coming here.
When I was like 6, yeah. Not so much at 14.
Mom laughs. It's a nice laugh, loud and earnest, the kind she can't do while working. A smile crosses my face, but it quickly disappears when my phone buzzes. I whip it out and slide open the lock as fast as I can, trying to read the notification.
Is it...
Buy one drink, get one free.
No! Despite a team effort to help me relax, both Mom and Millie have a giant sigh of disappointment too. Looks like we're all just trying to distract ourselves.
Anyhow, tell me more about yourself, Millie. What are you studying?
New stream time, hi! Good evening! How are you?
With a master of small talk, Mom starts listing off questions to Millie, listening earnestly and intently. Millie seems happy to oblige, occasionally trying to include me into the conversation. I try to keep up, but it's hard to focus. Instead, I try to log into the school web page as we walk. Maybe they'll post it there first. Surely the email is automated after the fact, and if the servers are down, maybe.
Right, Olive?
You're right. I'm also good.
Huh? Yeah, sure. Wait, what?
I was just telling your mom about how much you've improved as a writer.
Ooh.
And that you should publish your work sometime.
Eh.
Huh? No, that's a terrible idea.
Telling me there's more than one fault there? Yes, actually. In this specific case, there's 2.
I'm just teasing. But, got you to look up from your phone for a minute.
Mom giggles and I sigh, pocketing the phone for now. The last thing I need today is a heart attack. That can wait until after I know I failed, if I failed. As we walk, my mom starts telling Millie about her time in college. She never did finish her degree, but her love for study never quite left her. Occasionally, she'll still tell me about a random documentary she watched the other day, or a particularly interesting internet article. It makes talking easy. The three of us find little sparks of inspiration for each topic, something to comment on, something to ask more about. Millie's usual air of rehearsed conversation is nowhere to be found. She even makes some brisk jokes, much to my mom's humor. So near the end of the walk, the air is quiet. The families at the park have left for warmer climes. Lunch, probably, so it's just us now. My phone buzzes again. I pull it out of my pocket, this time confirming first that it isn't a promotional text message before unlocking it. Mom and Millie try to act casual, but they've slowed to match my pace. As I open the application, the first words that catch my eye are final assessment. We all stop. I'm not even sure if any of us are breathing. Millie peeks over one shoulder while Mom clings onto me, trying to squint to see the lettering.
It's...
Tap the email.
This is it.
Loading. Refresh already. Come on.
Is it up? Did you pass?
Inch by inch, the horribly presented 19-style attachment loads in. So far, it only shows the deductions to the score. Missed question, incorrect tense, unclear sentence.
No matter what it is, Ollie, we're so incredibly proud of you.
What's it say? Final assessment. Come on!
I passed.
Yeah!
You passed?
I passed!
Woo! You passed!
Oh,
Keep on out your time.
Congratulations!
Yes! My mom pulls me and Millie into a giant hug, jumping up and down and laughing. Millie laughs and ruffles my hair, spouting equal parts, "I told you so," and you did it. I passed, so I don't mind the tears trickling at the corners of my eyes, or how stupid we must look to any passerby by jumping around an empty park and screaming. Passed! You did! Bad ending. You didn't pass. Dun dun dun. Once again, I find myself outside Millie's apartment, though this time the occasion much different. With my exams officially behind me and no plans to pursue a career as a novelist, I'm returning her notebooks finally. And like, yeah, they use it a lot. Also, if they have like tables in a CG of some kind, they actually move the sprites to kind of showcase them sitting. I like how they make use of them actually, like, moving. When I reached out about it, she invited me to go for a walk together just to keep in touch over break. Without the pretense of needing to study, we haven't been talking nearly as much as before. Since that day in the library, I'd been trying to forget. I promised to. The distance has helped in some ways, but more than anything, I do miss her. As a friend. So I agreed, but now, standing outside her apartment door, I almost regret it. No need to be nervous, I'm just... see my girl. Space. Friend. I ring the doorbell, my heart doubling in pace as I do. Much as I want to tell myself I'm staying calm, maybe this should be expected. Muffled feet skipping up can be heard from the other side. The door opens just a crack as a pair of hazel eyes peeks around the edge before swinging open.
Morning, Olive. Come right in.
Oh, hey. Are you...
I want to say awake. Her hair is undone and she looks like she just crawled out of bed. She yawns and waves her hand a bit in front of her face.
Sorry, no, I'm fine. You came a little bit earlier than I expected. Just give me a second, I'll be right out.
Sure, I can wait here.
Or you could wait in our perfectly comfortable kitchen.
I could do that.
She smirks a little, suppressing a laugh, and angles her body away from the door to gesture towards the kitchen. I quietly shuffle in after her and shut the door behind me. A slight scent hangs in the air. Nail polish remover, perfume, or some mix of the two. I'm not exactly sure what it is, besides pleasant and sweet. The air is quiet, save for some ruffling inside the bedroom beside me. She's careful as she moves around, so I get the feeling the other two must still be asleep. As she turns away, I call out in a sudden whisper.
Oh, wait. Before you go and I forget. Here's your notebooks.
Oh, right. Thank you, Olive. I hope they came in handy.
More than you know. I think they might be the only reason I passed.
You really have to stop downplaying your own accomplishments.
Millie gives a slight pout as she leans over. I sit, stunned, before she gives me a quizzical look and grabs the notebooks from my hands. I feel my face flush hot instantly. So much for not being nervous. Oh hey. A door clatters behind us, followed by a sudden motion darting out behind Millie. The blow of movement turns out to be a much smaller woman sliding out of a bedroom right on cue.
Gotcha!
With a knowing, mischievous grin, Caprice walks up, donning her hat like an old-timey detective.
The final puzzle piece falls into place. Think you could sneak a fast one by me, huh?
What are you on about now?
I'm solving the greatest mystery of our time. Why on earth would Olive here be in a writing class over the much cooler option?
It's done, Caprice. Let it go. You're gonna have your fucking turn when I do your route.
The only reason someone would choose your club over mine is because of a crush.
She points at us both with a dramatic flair.
You two are dating.
No. Surprisingly, no. What?
Don't even try. I'm onto you, sneaking around, whispering to each other. It was obvious.
Yep, you got us.
What?
Wait, really? Like, really?
I look towards Millie as if trying to chime in a really of my own too.
You literally just said so. What were you expecting to hear? Happy? Now can you please leave us be? We have a date.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted. You two lovebirds have fun. But I'm telling Mike you're ditching the family brunch for your new sweetheart.
Stop making those noises.
You wouldn't.
Try me. Why wouldn't I? The guilt eating you up inside?
Because I haven't told him yet.
The banter stops cold turkey. Caprice hesitates, her pose relaxing and a look of guilt crossing her face. Millie turns back to me, slightly avoiding my eyes.
I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
She stands up and steals a glance towards Caprice, who shoves her hands in her pockets and pretends not to look. Millie disappears into her bedroom to get ready. Silence fills the room, something I would have thought to be a rarity around Caprice before. Seeing firsthand how quickly a row between them can go from angry to awkward, though, is probably more common than expected. I get the distinct feeling that she's staring at me. It's the first time we've really had to interact since I decided on the writing club, and the elephant in the room of Millie's declaration of her status hangs in the air.
So, Haley not up yet?
For someone working customer service, you'd really think I'd have any idea on how to do a small talk now.
Still sleeping.
Even through all this commotion?
Super heavy sleeper.
Probably wearing headphones. Caprice runs a hand through her hair and inhales like she's trying to work herself up to something. The question comes out in the eerie exhale.
So when did it happen?
What?
Like, you know, you two?
Oh, yesterday.
Sure, I guess. I mean, we made the plan to go on a walk yesterday. I try not to let my face be late, just how confused I am at this too.
What?
Please don't ask questions. I don't know anything about this either. Not that I hate it. I try to keep my expression neutral. Get a grip, Olive. Caprice, apparently not noticing, pulls a chair out from across from me and starts picking at a tangerine, trying to get the peel off in one big strip. She's pouting in an exaggerated way, a smile sneaking through every couple seconds.
Millie's been off for the past while is all. Guess you got her good. To be honest, well, we set up this whole brunch to try and get her to cheer up a bit, but maybe this is better.
I feel warmth come to my face at her sincerity. Caprice's attempt at masking her smile proves futile, as it's white as I've ever seen it now as she takes pleasure in it all.
Love is the worst, huh?
Seeing movement from the corner of my eye, Millie appears to have finished preparing as she arrives. The winter clothes are appropriately classy for her, even if they do make me feel a little underdressed in comparison.
Oh, hey, you look great.
Thank you. You look pretty sharp yourself.
Just get going already.
Caprice's expression has returned to a disgruntled frown. It's genuinely impressive how quickly she can put that mask back on, even if it does crack sort of easily. As she flicks her hand a couple of times to get the lovebirds out of her hair, the two of us do just that. You're wearing pants under that skirt? Given the circumstances, I really had no idea how today was going to go. I feel like both of us only had vague plans of what our schedule for the day was going to be like. Still, I don't think this is what either of us quite had in mind. We walk in silence all the way down the street to where her car, Junebug, is parked somewhat illegally in front of a fire hydrant. When I'm sure we're out of earshot from the apartment, I stop dead in my tracks.
Hey, so what was that?
Millie's cool expression lasts for a moment. She meets my gaze evenly, like nothing was amiss. Then, all at once, it crumbles as she throws her hands up into her hair.
Oh my god, After our talk last night, I told Caprice I was gonna go on a walk today instead of the brunch, but she kept insisting, and then I really didn't have a good excuse, and she said she'd bring the whole family so we can all go on a walk, and I really can't deal with more talks about how great the wedding is going to be and how beautiful it will all be and what a new beginning this is for everyone, and I just panicked, and I thought maybe if I said it was a date, she would give me a second to just breathe.
Breathe, then?
Oh, gosh, Olive, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have roped you into this whole thing.
She loses any sense of composure and sings, leaning against her car and hiding her face in her hands.
Okay. Can we back up, maybe?
I'm so sorry. I'll call Caprice now. I just didn't want to...
I'm not saying that. It's unexpected, sure, but I mean, you know, some context would really help me out here.
Millie pulls her face from her hands and looks at me. Something about this seems off and there's a million things I want to ask, but first, small steps.
Let's go on that walk. And we can talk?
Millie stares at me like I just offered to give her $1 million.
Yeah, okay. A walk sounds great.
I don't even remember the drive. We were headed to a park the next town over that has beautiful scenery, according to Millie. In the back of my head, I realized the whole plan was to get as far away from her apartment as possible. I couldn't find time to worry about that though. Instead, I was carefully entangling the web of words Millie threw out in a panic, trying to figure out where to start. Maybe it's not necessary though. Maybe I'll make it 5 steps when Millie begins fidgeting with her braids, starting and restarting sentences.
Right. So, maybe we can, the whole dating excuse thing.
That'd be a nice place to start.
I've been trying to get out of this brunch for, well, since they brought it up a few days ago.
Which day?
Caprice won't take no for an answer. Every time I try, she keeps pulling me back in. If I say I don't want to eat breakfast, she suggests lunch. If I say I have early dinner plans, she suggests brunch. Over and over.
Okay, so having a date.
I just thought if she saw I was doing something positive, she wouldn't mind.
Why not just say you're going out with Tanya?
Because every time Tanya and I go out, we go to a bar. That only reignites her recruitment efforts.
I try not to show it too much, but on that specific point, Caprice may be right. Although I was happy to join in these couple times, I don't think I could handle drinking any more often than that. I'm sure it can be healthy, and it didn't escape me how well the bartenders seem to recognize both Millie and Tanya whenever. Millie pauses to watch some birds peck at the ground in front of us. Fluffy and fat, I wonder how easy life must be for her.
Okay. And going to this brunch is bad.
You could say that, but then you'd be the only other person on Team Millie in the whole world.
What's wrong with Caprice's family?
If they're anything like her, I can imagine why a whole crowd of them might be overwhelming. Instead, Millie turns to me, a difficult expression written across her face.
It's not... The family brunch is supposed to be me, her, and our parents.
Our parents?
They're getting married.
Oh.
Sorry, I know it shouldn't matter. They're adults and they can do whatever they want. I just wish they'd stop trying to drag me into it.
Yeah, Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Do you not like her mom?
No, it's not that at all. I adore Charlie. It's just...
Millie groans, trying to explain something that she's already sure I won't understand.
It's just... I can't get into it right now. I just really need some space. I feel like ever since that announcement, I haven't been able to even think without Caprice barging in, trying to fix everything with brute force and a smile.
She goes quiet. I don't know what I could possibly say, or if I even should say anything. Whatever's going on is a depth I'm not equipped for. Millie herself seems to struggle scratching the surface of it, so whatever chance I have was close to none. Pushing I stare out towards the trees where the birds have flocked together and nestled on a branch, I can see her go through a million different explanations and ultimately fail to develop any single one. Between the riding club falling apart around her, being bombarded with a wedding she doesn't approve of at home, and even her friends roping me in to help in their own ways, I think I might understand a bit better now. Even if the way she went about it was pure survival instinct, I don't think it might be a quick getaway, a shield to let her get away from it all.
Alright, I think I get it.
I don't. I mean, maybe I'm just being... Maybe say just take me a little longer. Hold on. Thank you for the posture check. So, our parents getting married? So what? They're I don't understand who is marrying who. So Caprice's mom. Charlie is marrying Olive's dad? And the previous partners are not in the, like, picture anymore? What's fucking me up is how she said our parents. Well,
are you mad? I would be pretty mad.
Meh.
I decided to leave out the fact that a tiny bit of what Caprice had said earlier rang true. A bit of a crush never hurt anyone.
Look, the fact is, without you, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. Maybe working a second job to try and pay back my mom or whatever. The least I can do is help you get some peace of mind. You of all people deserve that.
Oh. Millie blinks a few times. A broad grin grows across her face, then I lose my footing slightly as she pulls me into a hug.
Thank you so much, Olive.
Aww.
Don't mention it.
Do you want to set some ground rules?
I mean, we can just play it by ear. I did tell Caprice we just started dating yesterday.
We do another lap around the lake, exchanging general rules and guidelines. No kissing, as if that was an option. Yes, hand-holding. No pet names. We promise not to worry too much over it. to let it ruin what we have going for us. Ah, okay, so this route employs fake dating. Clearly, fake dating has never gone wrong before. Halfway through, it becomes a bit of a game. We start going back and forth on fun excuses for her to use, like my apartment being flooded, or how we planned a backpacking trip for the entire weekend. Some of Millie's inner author comes out as we talk over the specifics of our story. I asked her that she accepted, that I gave her some flowers. I'm struck immediately by how much of a romantic she is. We round the bend of the lake once more, smiling.
That's good. Oh, and if they ask why I fell for you, it'll be because of a story you wrote in club that just captured my heart.
Oh.
Oh, which one? My totally fictional romance from the point of view of a failing student?
She gives me a playful shove and we head over to the car. I wait on the sidewalk as she goes to retrieve it, parked so close to two cars that there'd be no possible way for me to get in without hitting the car next to it. That can't be good. I lean over to get a glimpse of Millie's expression, but instead I just see her hair as she rests her forward against the steering wheel. She pulls out her cell phone and begins dialing. Oh no, what's happening? What do you think of my car that doesn't start
another cup
expression?
of
I think that
coffee?
was quite good.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
I top her off, laying out some extra cream on the table. After her car broke down, she called a tow truck and got it taken to her dad's repair shop. I took the bus back to town. I'm not really scheduled to work, but I figured hanging out here was probably better than my place. Understandably, after this morning, Millie was petitioned to go back to her apartment so early too. She didn't call her dad until well after 3, when I'd definitely be done with her brunch. She gave a lukewarm excuse about her car breaking down and her cell not having signal. Since then, we've been hanging out here until her car's ready. Dad promised to drop it off once he got it working again.
Are you sure you don't want to take a break?
Unable to just sit still for hours, I put on an apron a bit earlier and started helping out with the dinner rush.
I'm fine. Can you run table 3? It's in the window.
Mom shakes her head in defeat and loads her arms up with plates, scurrying off back to deliver food. Millie's been sitting in the same booth for a few hours now. In the time we've been here, she's almost finished the novel she's working through. It's a mystery novel. Every once in a while, she flips forward a few pages with a worried look on her face, only to exhale in relief and go back to where she was. I've done this before. Do not start making that a habit. But I do sometimes when like something really crazy starts happening in the upper left of a page. I'm like, oh my god, and do go towards like the end of the right side to see if it's resolved, and then I actually like read the rest of the page. But don't start like going a few pages further just to see whether it gets resolved or not. When I asked her about it,
I can't stand not knowing if my favorite character is going to die or not. I have to check to prepare myself.
What do you do if they do?
Right.
Skip to the end to see if the killer gets caught.
Oh, Millie.
And if it ends on a cliffhanger?
She returns the book. Outside night has fallen. I don't mind the days getting shorter, but it definitely screws with my overall perception of time. Cleaning up an empty table when the bell chimes.
Welcome to the Bell House.
Who the fuck are you? Oh, probably the dad.
Hey, I'm looking for...
Dad, I'm over here.
Aye. Millie springs up from a table, grabbing her book as she goes. The man, Millie's dad apparently, perks up right away, instantly looking more comfortable seeing his daughter than talking to a random stranger.
Thanks for coming out here. How's Junebug?
See for yourself.
Thank you for the pigtails.
She's outside when Millie's car is idling at the parking spot closest to the door. Millie exhales loudly, pressing her handcuffs to her chest. What? Thank you for the save. We are saving.
And thank you for the pet.
Not wanting to eavesdrop, I busy myself with cleaning the booth Millie was at. Unfortunately, it's also a very small diner, so it's impossible not to overhear everything.
Wow, thank goodness. What was wrong with her?
Nothing too major. Just had a bit of buildup in the injector.
I'll pretend I know what that means. He puts his hands in his pockets, glancing away from Millie.
You got a royal chain somewhere else, huh?
Oh, yeah, I just didn't want to bother you.
You never bother me. If you brought it to our place, would have been able to catch it.
Lesson learned, I guess.
Millie looks over to me, smiling. She waves me over to join in the conversation. I shake my head no, but her dad locks eyes with me expectantly. He's already introducing me before I stand up straight.
Dad, this is Olive. They're the student I was tutoring last semester. Olive, this is my dad.
So nice to meet you.
Mike's fine. Nice to meet you, Olive.
Mike?
Hey, nice to meet you too.
I give Millie a wary glance. For the person whose marriage is causing the entire feud between her and Caprice, I had expected someone tougher to deal with. Instead, he extends a warm handshake. His hands are large and rough, and he has a slight smile like a man who's just as awkward at meeting new people as I am.
Well, ready to get going, Millie?
Sure. Want me to drop you off at home or the shop?
Actually,
Oh no. Oh. Gee, I wonder who you could be. The bell chimes again. Gingerly stepping away from the two in the middle of the aisle, I go to greet a new customer, but she immediately gives me a polite nod and heads over to meet them too.
Mike, I had to park around the corner. You know it says customers only, right?
Charlie, I thought we'd order some food for dinner while we're here.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'll ask Caprice what she'd like.
Okay, so it's Millie's dad is marrying Caprice's mom, and whoever the last partners were out there not in the picture anymore. We don't know the full situation. She's what? Do you see that? I mean, yeah, of course, if they're planning on getting married, they're probably engaged. She's wearing a ring. I didn't look at his bride to see if he also has one on. Can we even see his hands? No, not really. The woman called Charlie gives Millie a warm smile while she tucks a strand of hair behind her ear.
Hey, Millie. We missed you at brunch. How are you doing?
Great.
Oh, hey, Miss Shifton.
Oh, you call her Miss and her last name? Okay. So that's... Millie shrugs on her coat, ending the conversation from earlier without asking more. Charlie glances at Mike with an unspoken question. He awkwardly looks around and grabs a menu off of one of the tables.
Actually, Caprice is over at our place right now. We're just going over the date, and we're thinking of moving it back a weekend. I thought we could all eat dinner together. Want to drop Junebug off at the apartment and carpool in the truck?
No thanks.
The end of the diner feels instantly colder. Even a couple customers up front have lowered their voices, trying not to bother the standoff happening in the middle of the aisle.
I already ate, so I'm gonna head back and get some rest. It's been a long day.
No, of course. It really was nice seeing you.
Are you sure? If you'd like to take Junebug instead.
The two talk at the same time, but Millie graciously sidesteps to both of them and swings open the door. She stops only to glance back at me and give me a wave.
See you later, Olive.
Bye.
Good night.
She disappears down the steps and into her waiting car, apologizing as the family waiting to enter the diner stand aside for her. Charlie and Mike speak to each other in a hushed tone after moving to the side of the car so my mom can see another family coming in. I get back to my work, but not long after Mom approaches the window.
Hey, honey. Can you start a to-go order? It's for 3.
Sure thing.
Charlie and Mike sit at the bar stools. Even from here, I hear Mike leaving a voicemail for Millie, asking her to call him back whenever she'd like to chat. Charlie picks at her manicured nails, flakes of paint coming off as she stares outside the window. Regret is written plainly across her face. I like that they bothered to change the hand the ring is on when they flip her sprite to look to this side, because the entire time she was like facing like I was, right? And it's on her left arm, but now her sprite was facing to the right and it was still on her left arm, so they bothered to like change that. That's nice. A lot of times when sprites just get flipped, people don't bother with the things that are just on one side, which is also fine. It's like, you don't need to redraw a thing just because you use a sprite looking to the other side like 3 times in your game. It's a small detail. I put extra fries into the order of loaded fries, half out of guilt for lying earlier and half hoping it'll ease some of the tensions from tonight. Miss Shifton. So her name is Caprice Shifton. Interesting last name. I turned the plate in my hands, examining the overall construction of the meal. It's been a long time since I've had a moment to really try something new. With the holidays rolling in, I thought adding a new special to the menu would be a good chance to do so. I'm pretty proud of how it came out. There's a French toast topped with a festive spiced fruit jam and a side of bacon, and easy enough to make a big bunch of overnight. I jot down a few more notes into the memo pad and take a bite. Too spiced. My phone buzzes on the counter nearby. I wipe my hands clean and put the plate aside. Olive! I'm carrying a wonderful and amazing partner who invited me out to an event today. Oh, what's up? Any chance you can come by and give me an alibi? My dad wants me to come help choose a wedding cake. What? Olive! Just kidding, where are you? Tanya's. Okay, give me 30 minutes. See you! I'm not exactly thrilled to see Tanya right now, but with any luck it'll just be a quick hello and goodbye without any fanfare. I clean up the kitchen quickly and shrug on my coat, checking the weather outside. It's pretty cold, but waiting for the trolley would probably take longer than just biking. Looks like circumstance will make the decision for me this time. I head out, grab my bike, and make my way over to Tanya's.
Congratulations!
Oh my goodness. So much for a quick hello and goodbye. Immediately after knocking on the door, Tanya dragged me inside, demanding gossip about our situation.
You know, I always suspected it. My gut never lies.
Yeah, good luck.
Even if I think you could do better, Mills.
Hey!
You're drunk.
Tipsy. Barely buzzed. Doesn't mean I'm blind.
My eyes wander over to the table in the corner of the room. At least 2 empty beer cans are knocked over and there's an open pack of cider.
Tanya!
She's not wrong. I got very lucky.
Part of me feels bad for how thick I'm laying it on, but hey, it helps tell the story. There's also the fact that it comes surprisingly naturally.
See? They passed the test. Second one of the year, and way more important than that other one.
Sure.
You mean my finals? More important than getting through college?
Yep.
Hard to argue with that.
Are you good to drive, Millie?
Of course she is. Love has made her such a square, she won't even split a wine with me. Here I am celebrating her first date ever, all alone.
So there was wine too.
First date? We've had several already.
Olive, no we haven't. I mean...
I don't need to be embarrassed. Like I said, I knew it from the start.
Please never say that again.
I can only imagine. All those times in the writing club, staying behind just to steal a kiss from each other. God, what a couple of romantics.
Oh boy.
Tanya, please.
I close my eyes and try to will myself not to react to any of Tanya's teasing. Millie herself slightly shifts in her seat. Sorry in advance, Millie.
Well, we should head out. Don't want to miss a reservation.
Suddenly Tanya narrows her eyes, gesturing towards me with a bottle of cider.
Reservation? I thought it was all romantic and spontaneous.
Millie stutters to try and get an explanation in, but I wave my hand.
I wanted to take her somewhere nice, so I called around earlier. I didn't tell her until I had a place lined up.
I turn to Millie, taking her hand and helping her up.
Surprise!
She takes a second to react, but when she does, her face relaxes and she nods. She stands next to me and we shrug our coats back on, successfully about to escape. Who's knocking?
Hey, I'm here.
Huh? Haley calls out as she opens the unlocked door and peeks her head in. At least she knocked.
Haley? What are you doing here?
I'm here to pick you up. Tanya texted me.
She looks around Millie's shoulder to Tanya, who's laying with her feet up on the table. Oh! The crowd whooping and hollering, whooping and cheering. Haley! Surprisingly enough, aside from the whole, oh, we just did our finals and brought away our books, we haven't actually seen Haley much this stream.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I sent that earlier because I thought we'd be partying and you'd need a lift.
Well, we're on our way to have a nice date, so...
Yep. I brought some energy drinks so you could sober up for that wedding thing late.
Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. Thank you, Haley. Great to see you, actually. I'm fine, so let's go outside. Bye, Tanya.
No. Millie flies out the door, towing me by the hand and giving an uncharacteristically chip away before closing it behind her. Tanya yells out a goodbye as we go. It's quiet in the hallway. Haley gives us a blank stare. The back of Ken's just carrying clinking together as she angles her body towards us.
Hey, Olive.
Hi.
Hey, Haley.
Hi! We really need to get going now, so...
Yeah, don't want to be late.
She turns toward me, her expression unchanged. Something about how she stares directly at me makes me break eye contact.
Where are you headed?
Just, out.
There's a taxi out front if you need a lift. We can swing by your place.
Actually, I'm going out with Millie today.
Since when?
Like 30 minutes ago? She doesn't miss a beat. It's harder than I expected to keep a conversation going like this, especially with how sharp she is. Also when she provides no feedback at all if she's convinced.
They just invited me out a bit ago. It was a surprise.
Uh-huh.
A loud shrill honk comes from outside. Haley doesn't flinch so much as she just glances at her phone briefly.
So you're not going out with Caprice and them?
Nope.
No, sorry. Like I said, Olive actually arranged a date for...
You should tell them then. Caprice is waiting for you.
What, really? She's going to be late.
Yep. Anyway, if you don't need the ride, I'm gonna head home. See ya.
She gives me one last long look, broken by the impatient taxi driver outside, laying on the horn again. Haley doesn't wait for us to leave, walking away without another word. Only when we hear the car outside take off do we both relax.
That felt... bad.
Sorry. Are you having second thoughts?
No, I didn't think she'd wait for me.
Priest?
Yeah, she was really excited to go out today. I told her I wasn't sure if I would have plans, and I figured once it got late enough, she'd just head out. Guess that's on me, though. She'd stop at nothing to try and make me participate.
I mean, I don't know the full situation here, but I feel like this could be talked over properly. Then we wouldn't be having all of this trouble. Like, repeatedly blowing off invitations like this just makes it so much harder. On herself as well. Like, if she doesn't want to go, she doesn't want to go, but I think it would be better if she just outright said so. Like, no, I am not interested in going out with your mom and my dad and talking about the wedding. I don't want to be involved. Thanks. I'm not... Echo! Echo! Oh my god. Halt dein Maul! I swear to God. Do not get an Alexa. It's not worth it. Probably just stealing all of my data anyway, and now it's complaining that
Something with the internet connection is not right.
hey, well, sucks to be you. There isn't any hint of bitterness or anger in her voice. In fact, merely smiling as she taps away a message to Caprice.
Well, if you want to cancel a reservation, I won't stop you.
What reservation?
And make you come all the way out here for nothing? I appreciate the offer, but I'm not ready to just pretend it's all fine just yet.
Alright. She sends off the message and pockets her phone, looking back up at me with bright eyes.
So, where's our super romantic getaway?
Yeah.
I have some grocery shopping to do.
Sounds perfect.
To be fair, grocery shopping is fun. With friends. 3 weeks. Oh. Hello. Page for next semester's classes is daunting, to say the least. Considering the circumstances, I didn't have the heart to plan out my next batch of classes. After all, the last thing I wanted was to get my hopes up. All the same, just like every semester, the sheer breadth and variety of the classes makes it hard to focus on anyone.
Wait, business management? You took a business management course? Were you a business major? How did I not know this?
I meet her incredulous disgust with a snort of amusement.
I wasn't not a business major. What did you think I was studying?
I don't know. Culinary arts, maybe? Botany? Anything but business.
Does our college offer a botany major?
Well...
Does it, Millie?
Alright. Enjoy your capitalist nightmare.
Believe me, after the hell that last semester put me through, I think I'll take it as a sign to switch things up. I was just trying to find a major with steady job opportunities. Gotta stack the deck in my favor somehow with all the debt hanging over my head. We can't all be artists.
What makes you think I don't have debt?
Sorry. Everything about you says scholarship or maybe high school valedictorian.
It sounds like you're holding your nose like this when you say high school valedictorian. But valedictorian, sorry.
That gets a laugh out of her. I'd honestly be surprised if she didn't have a full ride to university after this, but it's probably rude to ask.
Caprice actually got valedictorian.
Damn. Oh. Really? Really?
But I still got salutatorian. We were neck and neck our entire high school career, but the amount of extra credits she got through club activities pushed her over first place in the end.
I do not know what either of those words mean.
I spent all my extra time studying just to keep up with her.
With a flourish, Millie stretches and takes another sip of her coffee, finishing it off. The smell of hazelnut is overtaking our whole booth with the amount of flavored creamer she used. She turns the computer back towards her and gives it one more scroll through, counting the amount of credits I've selected. It's mostly general education with one pastry class mixed in, thanks to Millie's recommendation of finding one class to get excited for.
Choice of major aside, I think this is a much more sustainable selection than you had last semester. It's no wonder everything came crashing down at the end. You have to account for time to rest in your schedule too.
I decide to refrain from telling her the free time will likely be used to pick up extra shifts here. My mom's been putting double shifts far too often for my comfort.
Yeah, I'll try. Thanks for looking it over with me.
Bing bong. The bell chimes. Looks like break time's over. Standing up, I put on a courteous smile and go to greet.
Howdy, it's me.
Hi. Hi, Barry.
I'm saving my game. There we go. Thank you.
How are you? Caprice bounces in with a characteristic wave like she's coming into a friend's house instead of a restaurant. She looks around with bright eyes, catching Millie's glance and giving her a big wave too.
Oh, are you two on a date? Excuse the interruption.
Millie was just helping me with my schedule for next semester.
To take all the same classes and pass love notes during the teacher's lectures? How shameless.
Who said that? So you vibing? How's my day been? My day's been okay. Got home pretty late, so I'm super tired. But we're here now. Oh, hi Raiders, welcome in. Hello. I'm new, like the color pink pajamas and JRPGs, and we're once again playing Twofold. How was the stream? Momodora Moonlit Farewell. Which one is that? Is that an older Momodora or is that a new one? I think there's like 3, maybe 4 Momodora games. Regardless, I hope your stream was fun. Thank you so much for coming by. And Pikachu for the Raiders, of course, of course. Pikachu! Pika! Pikachu!
Where are you getting these ideas?
5th one recently released. Oh, okay. Wait, which one do I know? I think I know Momodora that has Reverie in its title somewhere. Wait, hold on. Momodora. Reverie Under the Moonlight. That's the one I am aware of. Yes. Nice. Ah, and Momodora Moonlight Farewell is the latest installment. Okay. Today I learned.
That does remind me. I never did properly congratulate you for passing your finals. So, congratulations!
Why do you have confetti? If she could make confetti fly around with just enthusiasm and volume, the entire trolley car would be full of it.
Thanks. It's really all thanks to Millie. She's a great teacher.
I bet. Oh, right.
She stands up straight like she's just remembered why she's here and immediately pulls out a sketchbook. On the side, next to a full page of doodles of various objects I recognize from around town, is a neat row of writing.
Can I get some drinks to go? We would have gone to the vending machine down the way, but it's broken.
Sure thing.
She follows me over to the other window and lists off everyone's individual drink, each with special instructions like extra ice, and it's probably a joke, but she asks if you could put a shot of bourbon in it too. After she pays, I slide back the change and immediately get to work on the order. The other drinks don't take too long, but someone, Allison, ordered a fancy latte. Thank you so much for the follow. Enjoy your stay. While I prepared a cup with equal parts chocolate and caramel, Capri sits at the bar stool swinging her legs.
We're doing Pomodoro practice around town. Have you ever heard of it?
Pomodoro is 20 minutes a thing, 5 minutes break, right?
Yes, we actually do it in the writing club pretty often.
What's it called again?
Caprice giggles a bit and Millie rolls her eyes, hopefully in good humor.
We usually call it the Pomodoro timer. It's when you set a solid amount of time aside and write as much as you can before the timer runs out.
Oh, it's an unspecified amount of time then?
It's a good technique for just getting words written in a first draft, even if they need to be edited later.
Or to get sketches down on a page.
25 minutes. No, 20, I think. Because 20 minute, 5 minute break, 20 minute, 5 minute break, 20 minute break. Something along those lines.
Exactly.
They share a smile together, obviously sharing the excitement of practicing their craft. It's kind of refreshing to see. I think back to when Haley visited my apartment long ago and the pictures she showed me of Millie and Caprice at a party together. Seeing them like this makes sense, like it's always supposed to have been this way. That said, something clicks in the back of my head hearing all this talk about practicing in timers, especially given the weather outside.
Wait, you're out with the art club? I thought the campus was closed for winter.
It is.
It is.
She looks her phone with one smooth motion and swipes her countless open apps before landing on the calendar. She holds it up to the window, and while I can't really make out what anything says, especially while trying to foam the milk for the drink, it looks pretty filled up with multicolor events.
Rain, sleet, snow, or hail, the arts club draws.
Yeah. The confidence to start a rhyme without knowing how to finish it is admirable.
The art club draws without fail?
Oh, yes! Good one!
Saying that, Caprice pockets her phone and thumbs the pages of her sketchbook, humming a little to herself. Thank you, Sammy.
Really, it's more of a get-together between friends. Wallace and Eileen didn't even bring their sketchbooks. But it's really nice to have a reason to see each other, so we keep it up even during breaks.
Find self. Treat with the purpose of gauging your IRL personnel. That seems... Yeah. I was about to say, that seems familiar. I have that on my... Hold on. Refine Self, the personality test game. I actually have that on my wish list. That only released in November last year. It looks interesting. It also has a bunch of very positive reviews. Some apparently different endings as well. Interesting. Did you like it? Oh, it would be lovely to watch me playing it. Oh, I don't have it yet. But I do have it on my wish list. It sounds like something I would enjoy. Let me actually write it down properly though. Hold on. So I don't forget. I think I've seen a few people play it. Or like not watch them, but I saw them go live with it. Refining. Alright. So I don't forget. Maybe next time it goes on sale. Seems about right. The little I've interacted with the group as a whole, it seemed like team building and lifting each other up was the main focus of the club over any creative endeavor. I put a generous helping of whipped cream on top and immediately ruined it by putting on a lid, packing all 4 drinks into the carry container.
Here you go.
Don't think it's on my wish list? No, it is. Very much is. It's right here. Right here. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Refine self. Added on the 3rd of December.
Thank you.
No problem. She stands up to grab the drinks but hesitates at the last moment, her hands hovering at tray.
Actually, have you thought about joining the art club?
Girl!
Huh?
From over Caprice's shoulder, I see Millie look up from the table. I can't make out what kind of expression she has. Caprice's face comes back into my view as she leans over to get my full attention.
It's a bunch of fun. We go out on field trips, help each other study, and just have a good time.
You're horrible, Semi. Oh, gee. A friend gifted you a game. Meh. I wonder. I wonder what that could be. Yeah. Well, guess we're playing Refine Self. Soon then.
Caprice.
Millie turns her fingers together carefully, like she's working out a good way to continue. Caprice doesn't wait for her to figure it out though, turning around with a bright smile. You wanna see how we compare? Sure.
Oh, there's more than enough room for you too, Millie. I wouldn't dream of separating you two today.
Oh boy.
We're fine, Caprice. Neither of us need your pity.
Huh? What? All have passed their classes, so it's not like they need the tutoring anymore, right? Even then, they can just study with everyone in the art club instead.
What if they like the writing club?
Oh, come on, Millie. You don't even like the writing club.
Uh-oh.
Stop trying to read my mind and fix things that aren't a problem.
I'm not. I'm just trying to be nice. Did you forget what that looks like?
If wedging yourself in your club in the middle of everything is being nice, I'd really like to know what you think being insulting is.
Oh, boy.
Why are you always picking a fight with me? It's like everything I say just sets you off.
Why don't you try talking less?
Okay, hey, maybe we should take a minute.
Whatever, I'm out of here.
Bye. The priest takes a tray, her cat making sure not to spill, carefully balanced by her storming off. With the final half, she looks up at me.
Just think about it, Olive. Sometimes Millie doesn't know a bad situation if it bit her in the...
Are you leaving or not?
The priest closes her eyes tightly, shaking her head and refusing to respond to her. With a careful glance towards Millie, I try to keep a level, non-argumentative tone.
Thanks for the offer, Caprice. I think I'll stick with Millie in the writing club, though.
Really?
Really?
I shoot Millie a glance and try to communicate that you really shouldn't be the one asking that expression. Somehow she pulls her shoulders back in a more confident look. Something I didn't realize she had lost throughout this argument until now.
That's that then.
All right. Offer still open anyway.
You will get your food. Be patient. She turns and looks at Millie. Any anger she had before is replaced with another attempt at friendliness, her voice soft.
For both of you.
With that, she leaves Millie and I behind. The Annabelle house feels several degrees colder with her gone, all the heightened emotions drained now. Millie avoids my eye contact for a bit, her brows knit together and her hands fidgeting non-stop. Hey. 10 minutes pass before she stands and brings her empty mug to the counter.
Can I get a refill?
Sure.
Another smile.
Were you only saying that thing about the writing club because you're my pretend partner?
No. Maybe. A little bit. No.
Nah.
Nah.
If I was, though, I'd be pretend partner of the year.
You'd be so good at pretending to be a partner? You could become a real partner. Another laugh. Bit by bit, the atmosphere in the diner changes to one of relaxed separation. As I get to work for the oncoming dinner rush, Millie reads out a few more class opinions in case I want to swap one out. Options. In case I want to swap one out. Afternoon becomes dusk. Customers begin pouring in and Millie heads home. Thank you so much for the follow. Enjoy your stay. When I look at my computer again, I can see a poorly typed out cat with a thumbs up emote next to it. Good luck next semester, remember? Hang in there. Aw, thanks. A few days later. You're so believable, you might be a real partner. Partner. I know it makes sense, I guess, seeing as who the people behind the script are, but it's so refreshing to just have no question at all oh my god, what's the fucking word? 1 second. I know exactly what I want to say. Of the pronouns. Like, it's never, oh, there's not been a single, oh, actually, by the way, I'm non-binary, so please use they, them pronouns. Everyone's just already using them. Meaning for the first time, no matter. Everyone's already using them. Which is maybe just a small thing, but it's so cool to see. The smell of pretzels and hot coffee fills the air as the crowd moves back and forth through the plaza. The food stalls set up at the other end of the street cast golden light on the break while the holiday train center provides a centerpiece for the festivities. I usually pass by on my way to work, but for once I'm milling about, trying to find a quiet area to wait. I check my messages to make sure I've got the place right. Oh wait, how do you scroll up again? Hey. Are you... Who's... Oh, is this Haley? It's very nice, yes. Hey, are you busy? Kinda. At work, why? We need to talk. What time do you get up? 6. What's up? Okay, meet me at the plaza after your shift. I sigh. If it weren't for the fact I was just getting out of work anyway, I'd probably have rescheduled for another day. I put my coat around myself a little and bury my face in my scarf. The heat from the food stalls is helping against the bitter cold, but all the same, I'd really like to get home soon. Are you coming? Oh my god.
Hey.
What the? I nearly jump out of my skin as Haley pops in behind me. She pockets her phone as she approaches and tosses out an empty cup into the nearby trash can.
Jeez. Please stop sneaking up on me.
Pay more attention to your surroundings.
I decide not to point out the obvious contradiction, considering she never goes more than 10 steps without drowning out the word with music.
I'll try. So, what's going on? I don't usually respond to cryptic messages asking to meet up.
When did you two even exchange phone numbers?
I won't lead you to any secondary locations. Relax.
It'd be easier to if I knew what you wanted to talk about.
Oh, that. It's about Christmas.
A little more information, please. She pauses like I'm supposed to grasp some sort of meaning from that. I return a look of blank confusion, earning a long sigh in response. I mean, yeah! Listen, I'm not a good cook. I'm not afraid to say so, but I wish it was different. She pauses like I'm supposed to grasp some sort of meaning from that. I return a look of blank confusion, earning a long sigh in response.
Millie hosts Christmas at her house. Every single year for over 20 years, her and Caprice's families celebrate together.
That sounds exhausting.
So, about Millie and you.
Lady closes her eyes for a long, thoughtful moment. I wait for her to continue, but I'm not sure if it's coming.
About us?
She opens her eyes, but avoids my gaze.
You can drop the act. I'm not gonna tell the others about your fake relationship dating, whatever you have
What's
going
cooking,
on.
good looking? Nothing. Nothing. I burned it. I made you a cookie, but I eated it. Her voice stays completely level. She doesn't even raise her eyebrows or look particularly concerned. As for me, I feel my heart drop to the pit of my stomach. In a way, it was expected. Being caught in a lie, regardless of intention, weighs on my shoulders.
You knew?
Obviously.
Man, here I thought we were doing a pretty good job of it.
Ah, yeah.
Sorta.
She shrugs like that's explanation enough.
Anyway, that's not the point. Not entirely. I think I get it. You swoop in and save Millie from her overbearing best friend and clueless family, and she gets to avoid her problems.
Huh?
All I'm asking is you don't mess up this Christmas thing. It's not supposed to be any of my business, but Caprice has been working really hard on this. She's trying to fix things.
Well, I don't think it's working.
If Millie keeps running away, nothing will improve.
The sense of guilt and shame fades away with every sentence, replaced with something else. Something stronger that pounds on my chest.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Huh?
Did you really call me out here to help protect Caprice? To defend this whole marriage thing?
She meets my gaze. Once again, there isn't a hint of malice or anger. Instead, I'm almost taken aback by how calmly she regards me, even as I feel myself getting worked up. I take a deep breath. Whatever Haley's reasoning, she's listening. She's not trying to meddle for the sake of it, and she's just as much a friend to Millie as she is Caprice. She's not trying to take sides.
I know you're trying to look out for them. You have to trust Millie too. She knows what she's doing.
Does she?
It's not a challenge. It's not judgment. Haley looks to me for assurance.
Yeah. She's not running away to avoid her problems. She's trying to work through things in her own way. And no one is letting her. Even you being here is proof of everything going on.
Haley nods patiently. I wonder how many times Millie's had to have this conversation for her own sake. It's something she's mentioned before. The constant asking to move on, the could you just try, the request to put up with things that are overwhelming in their own way. It's no wonder she asked me to be there for her, fake partner or not. I might be the only person who isn't asking her to change how she feels.
Millie needs someone on her side. I want to be that person. If she needs somewhere to go or someone to turn to during Christmas, I'm going to be there. I'm not going to ask her to go back, or make up, or try to make things work. I can't. I just want to help her get space to work things out on her own.
Yeah, makes sense.
The response is so simple, my gut reaction is telling me she doesn't really believe me. In reality, though, Haley smiles.
You're right. Or she's right. Whatever.
She puts her hands in her pockets after that simple statement. Every part of me wants to ask more, if she's being honest or not, how she's feeling, but I don't think Heidi would respond either way.
I should apologize to her.
It's not your fault. None of this is anyone's fault. It's just that Millie's really been on her own lately. What you're asking me to do is...
Betrayal, unthinkable.
No, I get it. I hope you're doing the right thing.
I hope so too.
Well, things will probably work out then. Like you said, it's not anyone's fault. Everyone's doing their best. And it looks like things aren't as fake as I thought.
She puts on her headphones. Conversation over, point made. A blush would rise to my face if I wasn't still coming down from the early defensiveness.
See you.
Yeah. See you.
I respond to her, she's already leaving, the music playing from my headphones just loud enough to hear as she walks past. Plaza's getting busier by the moment. I feel myself getting a little lost in the crowd as I try to edge my way out back to the streets to get home. Product. Fantastic advertisement. I would immediately go and order at least 3 boxes of product. Just as I break through the noise, my phone rings, a now familiar icon front and center.
Hey, Millie.
Hi!
Olive, hey! I didn't catch you at a bad time, did I?
Nah. What's up?
Well, it's about Christmas.
Deja vu. Millie speaks quietly into the phone as I make my way home through the already dark streets, her voice keeping me company. She talks about how big of a tradition Christmas is, how Caprice and her mom will be there, and how it's usually the highlight of the year. And if I just heard it all from Haley, it would feel rude to interrupt. By the time I get home, she drops the question.
So, I know it's a big ask. Do you have any holiday plans?
I don't. No. My mom and I will be celebrating a bit early this year, so I'll be free.
I stand up by this point. It's really hard to turn down the double holiday pay, so we're used to celebrating either a few days early or late. It's quiet for a few moments. The only sign that Millie's still there is a faint shuffling on the other end.
You're gonna make me ask it outright, huh?
I smile a little to myself.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'll be your +1.
She hears a giant sigh of relief into the receiver, crackling through into my phone's blue speaker. My apartment is cold. I crank the heat on all the way, knowing full well it'll probably take at least a couple hours before it warms up.
So, see you soon?
See you.
In the cold of my living room, I start mulling over Christmas gifts. Annie thinks about a distraction and thinking too much about the conversation with Haley. Big relationship or not, I care about Millie, and the extent that I do is starting to feel undeniably real. I have to figure it out. I have to stamp down any hopes that she feels the same too. About that! Give it some time. 3 weeks later. We're just jumping straight to Christmas. I woke up expecting a text from Millie telling me she was waiting to pick me up outside. I got half of it right at least. Rather than enjoying the morning in the passenger seat of a heater-equipped car. I'm spending it riding my bike down a city street I'm largely unfamiliar with, the duffel bag across my shoulder making this more uncomfortable than normal. I read over a text again every few minutes to reconfirm the address, the rest of the message being entirely foreign to me. Eiling Roof. What does it even mean? Something about spark plugs? I don't know. I Eventually, I find a set of numbers that match up, and the exterior at least looks enough like a machinist's shop. More than eager to escape from the cold, I dismount from my bike and step inside. Ah! Well, if there was any doubt I was in the right place, the little red car front and center quickly dispels it. Oh, I just got an achievement. Check in on Junebug. Okay. Millie spots me before I see her ducking out from behind the car to greet me.
Hey there! Sorry for making you meet me out here like this.
No worries.
No problem. It's not too bad out there right now. Junebug doing okay?
I shove my hands deep into my coat pockets lest my shivering give that fib away. Millie beams at me before briefly turning her gaze to the car.
She's just fine. Just being proactive to prevent another incident before it happens. You read my text, right?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. I respond with an ignorant frown. Millie's unsure of how to read it at first, but she eventually replies with a small giggle. Audible movement from the back snaps out of her smile, turning again to me with an almost apologetic expression.
Oh, right. I should probably warn you.
Of the man on the other side of the office window, rushing out to meet us the second we managed to make eye contact, I assume.
Hey, Mills.
Hello?
This your +1, I assume?
No.
The one time I'm begging the cat to come a step closer. Come on. No? No? Okay. Please don't start climbing behind my monitor. No, he has to start climbing. Are you going? A deep sigh from his father before a forced smile and a small nod. His own grin is much more sincere in comparison.
Glad to finally put a face to the... Wait. I know you, don't I?
I don't know, do you? He takes a step forward, which makes me instinctively take a step back to maintain the distance. Nevertheless, he leans in, giving me a quick once-over.
Olive, right? From Bellhop?
Bellhouse. But yeah, that's me. Good to see you again.
You got it half right, at least. He, on the other hand, seems fully confident in his feelings, pulling himself upright again with a boastful smile.
Thought so. To think I was shaking your hand a few weeks ago. None the wiser.
Mike gently taps Millie's arm with his elbow, an act which causes her to grimace.
You and your twist endings, huh? Ever the writer.
This gets an even stronger reaction out of her. She buries her face into her hands. Not entirely immune to his daughter's suffering, his smile softens a little and his posture mellows. Still, overall his demeanor now compared to the Bellhouse last time is completely different. I'm not sure if it's due to being in his home turf of the shop or the fact he was expecting me.
Let me borrow your keys. Just gonna give her one last checkup real quick. Won't be more than a few seconds.
Millie obliges, wordlessly shoving her keyring into his hand. His expression doesn't falter as he turns to the car, humming a small tune to himself as he opens the driver's side door.
I wanted to take a picture of you. No. No.
Cat on the keyboard. Abort mission. Cat on the keyboard. I repeat, cat on the keyboard. My good sir, I'm streaming right now. Okay. no longer on the keyboard. Cat, however, climbing every single other surface available to it right now. Don't do that. Please, don't do that. Except he won't listen to me talking English because the cat is not used to me talking English. He's not multilingual. He is, however, apparently in desperate need of cuddles. What's up? What's up? Hmm? It's my LAN cable. Don't touch that. Please. Please. Jesus Christ. Why are cats? Why? Why? Hmm? I am begging you to stop touching things. Please. Sir, I must ask you to refrain from trying to bite the cable. Please. If the stream suddenly dies, it's because the cat couldn't stop. Hello. Sure. Please. Until someone gets hurt, it's either going to be me or you, and I don't want that to be either of us. Please. Thank you. Okay. Time to set him outside? No, it's alright. Alright. Ah. Alright. I don't mind him being in here. It's not usually a problem. It's just he apparently has gotten us in his head that he needs. That's a second cat. Hello. That he needs to get cuddles right now. But I cannot. You didn't get scared. But he's on the bed now. And I think he might actually just stay there, so we should be good to go and no longer in danger of him doing anything to my cables. That. In stark contrast, Millie continues to stew in her flustered frustration.
You're so dramatic. You should feel lucky to have such a doting dad.
If looks could kill, I'd be dead 10 times over. Our starting to life is enough to finally pull Millie back into a normal standing position. After a few moments, Mike emerges from the car, poking his head over the roof.
Sounds good to me. How about you?
Perfect. I owe you one.
Well, if you're offering.
Oh no. He cuts the engine and closes the door, tossing Millie her keys as he makes his way over to us again.
Come on down and visit more often, okay? The house and the garage have both felt emptier without you lately.
Yeah. Millie hesitates to respond and starts playing with the keys in her hand. This is the first time all morning I've seen Mike's smile dampen.
Things have been busy. Between finals and, you know, my relationship. Sorry, I'll try and be better about it.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you or anything. I just swear I could still see little 7-year-old Millie around out of the corner of my eye sometimes.
It's a bit too early for my phantom to be haunting you.
He laughs through his nose.
Guess I might have a problem then. He's all over the place nowadays. Out front playing in the snow, excitedly bouncing in place whenever a customer brings a red car in, playing pinball with Caprice on the old work computer whenever Charlie needed a sitter.
You switched tenses.
He sighs, setting the smile back in place afterwards.
Guess I did. Am doing?
Very funny.
She rolls her eyes, but she's finally matching her dad's smile. No one says anything for a couple seconds, in a moment that's equal parts serene and awkward.
So, what's the plan? Are we just gonna meet up at your place this evening?
Mike jumps to attention at my question, giving it serious thought once it actually registered. He tilts his head back and forth a few times before an answer seems to fall out of his brain. He digs into his pocket for another key, passing it to Millie.
You two can go on ahead if you want. I've got some business to take care of here. And I was planning to do a grocery run on the way home.
Are you sure? I don't mind killing time around town if you wanted to head back together.
Nah, no sense suffering out in the cold on my account.
Millie responds with an understanding nod. Satisfied with that, Mike turns his attention towards me instead.
The guest room's a bit of a mess right now. I hate to ask, but are you gonna be good with the couch?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Good to hear. I'll pile up a bunch of extra pillows and blankets for you at least.
Thanks. He gives a small thumbs up, signaling the end of the conversation. Also, I think, before realization crosses his face and he turns to Millie again.
Oh yeah, most probably hungry by now. Make sure his bowl is topped up, would you?
Probably hungry? At this hour?
His ever-present confidence finally breaks as he delivers a nervous laugh.
Dad.
Love you. You two have fun. Make sure you give him the grand tour, Mills.
Who's Mo? And he's gone before I have time to blink. Oh, Milligan musters a frustrated sigh. Who's Mo? Cat, dog? Both? The leisurely drive out of the city and into the suburbs was, as ever with Millie, a calm experience. I think I'm starting to enjoy our trips in her little car. She pulls the handbrake up, I get out and retrieve the luggage while she fusses around in the driver's seat. Popping a trunk open, I drag out my modest duffel bag and swing it over my shoulder before hauling out Millie's suitcase too.
Oh.
Millie rushes out of the car to assist me, arriving just before the weight of her luggage can tip me over.
Sorry, I should have packed more economically. Ugh.
She grabs me by the arm and locks both me and her suitcase off the road and into the front yard.
I'm such a mess right now.
Stressed?
No, I'm fine. There's just...
She claps her hands together as if to dissipate her frazzled energy.
So much family to think about. You know, full house and all.
There's a cloud that's been hanging over this entire holiday. This morning's diversion did an okay job of distracting me from it in a moment, but I had to come back around sooner or later. Millie's slumped shoulders and heavy sigh agree with me. At least being out here alone for a day will give us both some breathing space. Eager to focus on literally anything else, my gaze turns towards my home for the next few days. I guess Millie's dad managed to stay in an alright area at the cost of his commute. Compared to the houses on either side, all that's to be seen regarding the season is a Christmas tree visible through the window and a simple string of lights. Still, something about the simplicity is charming. Given how far out of town this is, it made sense to bunk with Millie for a couple of nights rather than have her drive in and out to pick me up each day. What's even more charming, however, is the allure of getting inside and out of the cold. I turn back to Millie, who's managing her luggage.
I can take that for you.
No, you can't. I just watched you try.
Damn! No, you can't. She picks up both my duffel bag and her suitcase like it's nothing, smiling sweetly as she passes me on her way to the front door.
The effort is appreciated, though.
Oh, thanks. Oh. Okay, then. Millie places my bag down to fetch the keys from her coat. I grab out my bag while she opens the door, determined to at the very least carry my own weight. We finally step inside and I do my part by closing the door behind us. Millie sets her luggage down as gently as she's able before briefly turning to me to make sure I'm managing okay. It's a cat! Yes! I win! Mickey Mouse time! Where is it? Where's the cat? I want to see the baby. Millie's expression, usually relaxed and warm, shoots up and her smile widens tenfold, not twofold, in a way that I've only seen when talking shop over writing. Oh my god! Look at that unit. Funniest fucking thing to me right now is the cat behind me that was just messing with the cables. Looks almost like this. Color scheme wise? Could be brothers. Distantly related. But could be. Could be. So sticky footed. She spins around quickly to meet the source of the sound. What can be best described as a sentient orb with cat ears waddles out of the kitchen area. Oh my god. There's me, and Millie bends down and scoops him up as he approaches, struggling more with him than the baggage she was holding him
Oh, I missed you, buddy. Jeez.
Yes.
He hasn't even been trying to make you follow that diet, huh?
Yes. In fact, the cat behind me has long fur, so he looks like this, but there's like nothing beneath that fur. He's very very small. Take away the fur.
Hey, you gonna introduce me?
Please. Millie turns to me, cat still cradled in her arms.
Olive, meet Mr. Mo. There's a cat under all that flab somewhere, I promise.
Mr. Mo! She says, freeing one of her hands momentarily to affectionately pat his head.
I wanted to bring him with me when Caprice and I moved out for college, but our apartment doesn't allow pets. Looks like Dad's been spoiling him silly while I've been gone.
Looks like.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Mo.
Mr. Mo. Oh. Millie sets him down gently as he begins to fuss in her arms. He approaches me, giving my legs a couple quick sniffs before sauntering away to the couch. Just because Mr. Mo is leaving doesn't mean you have to as well. Okay, well, there he goes.
He likes you!
Yay! Can't imagine how she managed to get that from our interaction.
Anyway, let's start getting settled in. Do you want to store your things in my room for now?
Sure. My eyes move around as I gingerly finish a quick lunch of sandwiches in the living room, Millie returning after depositing her finished glass and plate in the kitchen. The noise of the radio, occasionally more static than voice, drones on with the weather report for the day. All the usual bits and pieces collected during a live sit here and there, the place is generally a lot cleaner than I expected. From what Haley told me, I would have figured the place to be decked out with festive cheer and lights. Said it looks a lot like what my mom and I would put up, the little tree in the corner, a small reminder of the season without much fanfare. There? Maybe herself looks a bit disappointed.
Sorry, there's not much decoration. We're usually more on top of things.
Don't worry, we haven't had a tree in years. Both with the whole, oh, you know, it's just a mess. And also the cats will try to climb it. You can't put any of the actual proper decorations on there anyway because they will just destroy it. So let's not bother with the tree at all.
I don't mind either way. I think it's cozy.
I guess that's a word for it.
She shrugs and puts a few presents under the tray, stacking them neatly together. When she stands, she looks out the front window with a smile.
The weather looks like it'll be good today.
You want to explore outside a bit?
Dad told me to give you the grand tour, remember? Grab your coat.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Rushing through the snow, I quietly follow Millie's lead as we walk. The expedition is a welcome distraction from the morning's events for her. Now that I have a better lay of the land, I can see that the Clark house is right on the outskirts of the suburb itself. Having struck out woods from the houses behind us, we now walk along the winding train tracks. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the weather report ended up being wrong. While the snowfall isn't bad enough to turn back, the two of us not being that far from the house anyway, it's difficult to see far. It feels all that much more alone out here.
So where are we headed?
Just to the bridge, the one we drove over on the way here.
What's on the bridge?
Guess I used to come here often.
That's a big bridge. She gives a nod.
We'd walk out here on the way to the convenience store sometimes. Not many other places to go around here without driving into the city. Most of the time, it was more of a matter of me bringing Mom out while Dad was at work during the day. Hey, this is a bit of a shot in the dark, but did you ever have a train set or something similar growing up?
No, I did have one of those rugs that would show like an actual city you could drive on with your toy cars. And I think I had one of those with like trains as well, but I don't think that counts.
Kind of. These tracks making you nostalgic?
Maybe a little. It's just something small that sprang to mind.
She gives a small nod to the side, guiding my gaze to the train tracks on the other side of the railing.
Dad had one he kept around. He actually left a few tracks and cars behind when he left.
Thank you for that. Good time in the post to check. Evening. Oh. Crispy.
I was never allowed to play with it before then, but it was fun when I could. It's probably still in an old cardboard box somewhere at my mom's.
Sorry. Sounds like it was more of a collection than a toy for you.
I think so. Yeah.
For me, I just like to watch them go by.
I'm about to ask what she means, if she had an electric set or something, but the sound behind me interrupts me before I can start. I have bright yellow lights shining through the falling snow, a fog reverberating through the air as the freight train approaches, looming through the white fog ahead. I'm allowed to say this because we live right next to the train tracks, and there's nothing quite as annoying as summer times when you're sitting outside for lunch, dinner, just enjoying the sun because the weather is nice out, and you're trying to talk or, I don't know, listen to something, and suddenly there's a freight train. Because they're the loudest trains I've ever heard in my life. They're really fucking long, so the noise also takes forever to pass by, and it's just... And that just like... Especially when you're trying to talk. Like you're about to say something, so you wait. You try to say it again, another one. Not helping it.
Welcome to my childhood train set.
I guess she's a fan, though. As the bridge beneath us begins to shake, I find my grip on the railing tighten. Millie, on the other hand, is practically leaning over it entirely. I never really appreciated just how giant they actually are until being this close to one as it's moving. You live in a proximity of a railing, so you know my pain. It's literally like... I could just go out into the field behind our house that is not ours. I do not know who the owner is. It's just a field where nothing is actually growing, just weeds and the like. Just, I don't know, maybe not even a full 200 meters, but just, and I would be on the train track. Like, I'm looking outside my window right now and I can see a train pass. Fun. Transporting products and services. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. No wonder does the machine rumbles by, the clattering of the rails and carriages filling my ears. Millie looks on with an expression of childlike excitement. I'm sure no different to the face she'd had at the same scene 10 or more years past. I can't help but smile at the earnest sense of wonder she's managed to keep a hold of into adulthood. Carriage after carriage passes us, Millie's eyes never tearing from the sight. This really is a train set for her, though far larger than the one I'd had. After what must be quite a few minutes, it finally passes, leaving the two of us to watch the last of its cargo laden stock disappear into the snowfall as we transition to the other side of the bridge. Those train enthusiasts would love it though. Probably. Yeah, like, I mean, you just kind of get used to it because it's just a constant noise. Like, I don't even actively really notice it much, but when I don't know, I'm like in a Discord call with friends, and in summer I will have my window open to get some fresh air in, and if the train passes by I have to mute myself, otherwise everyone else will also have to suffer through that noise. That's when you notice how many there are and how loud they are. That's gonna be interesting when summer comes around and I'm streaming again. That's gonna be interesting. The deafening racket slowly fades into the snowy distance, leaving a pleasant silence.
That was cool.
Wasn't it? You don't get to see stuff like that up close in the city, do you?
Yes. She's practically buoyant, raising herself up and down on the balls of her feet as she's filled with renewed energy. As she settles down, Millie's excitement turns to a warm smile across her face.
Good to know that if we're ever tight on cash, I can just take you train spotting for a day.
She gives me a gentle push, laughing as she does so. Her smile doesn't go away, but it definitely softens long after.
I don't think Mom quite understood it. She always humored me when I dragged her out here, though.
Your mom is dead, isn't she? Her face grows distant, an odd look of nostalgia and sadness crossing her expression.
You must miss her a lot, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Never asked before. All this time, every time she's brought up her mom has been in passing. An anecdote, a fond memory, a small touch. Even if she's passed on, almost every aspect of Minnie's life has been touched by her in some way. Minnie treasures every moment she shared with her mom, that much is clear. I almost feel guilty not asking sooner, seeing her eyes light up with love at the opportunity to share more about her. I slow my walking, turning towards the lake. Millie stands at my side, exhaling a long breath of fog into the air.
What was she like?
She was gentle. Very quiet, too. Even as a child, I noticed that. She loved books, taking walks. She kept a journal. Several, actually. I remember her handwriting was so pretty. I would ask her to write my name for me, over and over, so I could practice it.
It sounds like you were pretty similar.
She gives a smile of appreciation at the sentiment, but there's an insincerity to it.
I don't know. I don't think I resemble her very much. If I did, I think I'd be... sorry. I don't mean to be a downer.
Something shifts in Millie, like she snaps out of her hand. She turns to me, giving me the same kind of easygoing grin she would use all the time in the writing club.
Huh? I asked.
We should get moving before it gets too cold.
Brushing down any lingering feelings, Millie doesn't wait for me to agree. She thrusts her hands into her pockets and shakes her head. I want to ask more, or at least give her space to talk if she'd like to. I have to remember I'm just a friend. Not a partner, not involved more than I have to be. I wonder if she feels the need to keep up her act in front of me because of that. The two of us begin a long walk back to our house, me jogging slightly to catch up to her. Neither of us say much, save for some pleasant small talk. I can only hope, probably fruitlessly, that tomorrow is just as calm. Well, I think Christmas is either gonna go great or be absolutely disastrous. And seeing as this game, the route has 3 acts, according to the achievements, it's probably going to be a disaster. Last night gave a surprisingly good sleep, all things considered. The house is quite peaceful, a far cry from the ambient noises of sleeping in an apartment building. Aside from leaving me with stiff shoulders, the couch was comfortable enough for me to rest too. Ooh, where are your glasses? Okay, there they are. After a quick stretch, I reach for my glasses, officially ready to start the day. So, now what? Looking for ways to occupy my idle hands, I reach for the blanket I was using last night and start folding it away. I'll need it again tonight, but I'm sure the living room will be seeing a lot of use, and it wouldn't do for the couch to be such a mess. As I'm wrapping up my cleaning, the kitchen behind me starts showing signs of life, with the sounds of an early sizzle finding its way to my ear. By her own admission, Millie isn't much of a cook, which narrows down the options pretty significantly. It's the second time tonight that I've misread options as opinions for whatever reason. I stand up and at the mountain of pillows Mike provided me atop the now folded blanket. Before turning towards the kitchen, I take a few steps over to the entertainment center to steal a glance at my phone, charging away. It's not even 6:30 yet. Who knows how long he'd been out here before I woke up. I thought I was a morning person, but not to that extent, and definitely not on a holiday. With that minor curiosity sated, I make my way towards the entranceway of the kitchen. As predicted, he's hunched over a pan, not doing much of anything other than observing it right now. It's early enough into the process where whatever he's working on isn't giving off a strong enough aroma to clue me in on what breakfast is going to be.
Morning.
He turns his head, looking as if he'd just seen a ghost before returning to his typical hard-to-read self.
Oh, morning. Didn't wake you, did I?
Morning.
Nah, this is about the standard for me.
6:30, bruh. Bruh. Never in my life. Never in my life will I get up at 6:30 unless there's something super special that I've planned for the day. No.
So, where should I put all this for now?
Just put the pile by the stairs. I'll put things away later. Breakfast should be done in 40 minutes or so, give or take. Probably give.
What are you making for breakfast that's gonna take 40 minutes? It's called breakfast. Fast.
Will do. Should I wake
Okay.
Millie up?
Still middle of the night, like, legit. I've been awake on some weekend nights until 6:30. Which usually don't end well, because then I'll just sleep through the entire day, but like, no way. 9 is very early morning, definitely. So you're so right. You're so right. I get up at 8:30 because I have new hours at work now, so I can sleep in longer. And there was a time before I started, like I have those hours now in the new year, where I was like, oh, I'm just gonna still get up at around the same time as before, which was 7, and like use those hours free time, and I don't know, read or just chill. I'm not doing no such thing. I will sleep until 8, and then because I have an alarm at 8 and at 8:15, and then with the 8:15 alarm I'm like, oh god, I have to get up sometime soonish, and then at 8:30 I actually get up. Slowly. I like my new hours at work a lot.
If you're looking for a Christmas Day breakup, maybe. She'll make her way down eventually, don't worry.
Well, I get ready early before my noon job and do stuff, and the classic job to tell her, yeah. It's not a noon job, but exactly. It's exactly that. It's like, you know what? I am not using the supposed time I now have. Well, I am using it. I'm using it and actually get a full 8 hours of sleep, and it's doing wonders. I still get tired, obviously, but it's actually helping to get my full 8 hours of sleep every night without fail. I just have more time in the morning to get ready to do anything, because before it was just like attempt to wake up at 7 because my work started at 8. So get up, get ready, blah blah blah, actually get to the job. Because most days I would usually wake up at around 7:30 and then have to absolutely just fucking scramble to get anything done. And not even be fully awake by the time I reach the job. It's just... But this is an improvement. This is nice. And turning back to his pen is enough of a signal that our brief conversation is over. After plopping the batting off by the stairs as instructed, all I can think to do is return to the couch while I wait for something to eventually pull at my attention as the word starts to wake. And wake it does. Just a few moments after the house starts smelling of pancake batter, the sound of the door opening can be heard faintly from upstairs. Oh! Hello? Cute pajamas! Followed by a massive yawn, a loud meow, and then finally the dragging of feet down the stairs.
Oh, Dad, it's barely 7.
I let you sleep in. Happy holidays.
Oh, you... Barely 7 is sleeping in? Oh my god, Bruh. Hi. His laughs from the kitchen drown out any further mumblings from her as she collapses beside me on the couch, her bedtime partner instead choosing to pat his way to my side.
Aw, morning, Mo.
He's so cute.
He's still dieting. Don't you dare.
She doesn't get a response and she doesn't push it further, likely knowing it's a fruitless endeavor.
Sleep well.
It was going great until a few minutes ago.
Another yawn, punctuated by her rubbing some sleep from her eyes. I want to feel sympathetic for her, but it's hard not to smile.
How about you? I can't imagine it was too comfortable.
Oh yeah, right?
It could have been worse. Honestly, it might have even been an upgrade.
I think that says more about your bed than it does the couch.
Probably.
We share a brief smile before being interrupted by the clattering of plates. Mike emerges from behind us, plates piled high with pancakes on a tray on one hand, a couple of cups of coffee in the other, Mr. Mo close behind. Even working in a diner myself for so long, I'd be terrified of carrying around anything even remotely similar, the potential of a mess being almost catastrophic. The tray finds its way safely to the table before us, with the coffee soon after, hardly a drop out of place.
If you don't take your coffee black, just let me know and I can bring out some sweetener.
Black works fine for me. Thank you.
Sort of figured it would. You seem like the type.
I have no idea what the implication is there, or if it's supposed to be a compliment. The fact that Millie's cup is an equal shade of dark probably means it isn't an insult, though. Millie wastes some time taking her first sip, desperate for some help with shaking herself awake. With his hands emptied, Mike brushes them together to signify a job well done and turns to make his way back to the kitchen. Okay, I guess mixing pancake batter would take some time, but I would not be willing to spend 40 minutes preparing breakfast. Like, I don't need breakfast at that point anymore. No way.
Are you not having anything? We could eat together.
Nah, dinner's gonna be an all-day project, I fear. You two enjoy yourselves, though.
We could help. And with that, he's gone. Millie responds with a sigh before turning the TV on for some white noise and then picking up her plate.
I wish he'd slow down at least a little.
Considering the gravity of the situation, I can't help but feel it's exactly because of everything going on that he must be trying so hard. The only reason we're here early is to help out with the festivities, after all. Still, that wouldn't be a very helpful reply, so I keep it to myself and we enjoy our breakfast together. Ah, I want some pancakes though. God damn it. The morning passes by quickly. Between wrapping presents together and running to and from the store to grab ingredients for Mike's dinner recipes, the amount of last-minute preparation is more than enough to keep us busy. As late afternoon sneaks up on us, we eventually find a break to return to where we started the day, side by side on the couch, Mr. Mo napping comfortably on Millie's lap. It's mostly silent now, the only noises being some faint radio program that Mike's listening to in the kitchen, and the sound of cooking. It's inevitable that I start to wander, with mine eventually resting on the numerous shelves underneath the stairs. More pictures line them than I can count, Mike absent from most of them. Him being camera shy seems like the best explanation there. The grand majority of the photos feature Millie at various ages. Another woman can be spotted in several as well. Her red hair is still easy to spot even as the pictures she's in have otherwise begun to fade.
I wish you could have met her.
Oh. I've been caught staring.
Me too.
Seemingly giving consent to continue my snooping, my eyes return to the shelf. Millie's mom is almost never alone. 9 out of 10 pictures pairing her with her daughter, with everything from formal family photos to playing together in the park.
She seems like a really special person.
Mm-hmm.
She's a few degrees quieter than before. I'm not entirely sure if it's due to her trying to pull memories from the back of her mind or simply wanting to keep the conversation out of her dad's ears. Probably a mix of the.
Remember when I gave you a tour of the apartment and you started poking around my room?
A bit.
It wasn't poking.
Oh no, it was. Anyway, that old journal in there? It was hers. Well, ours.
She leans back further into the couch, slow enough to not stare him off.
Back when she knew what was coming, she started filling it front to back with things she wanted to say to me. Recipes, messages for every milestone you could think of, countless pages of advice. We'd fill in some pages together, with me asking questions and her answering them the best she could. That's the kind of person she was.
Sink back into the couch as well to try and meet her eyesight better. I feel like I'm someone I'm not supposed to be even hearing about its existence.
She was so thorough about it, too. She had an answer to almost everything. Holding on to what's important, how to be there for someone, dealing with stress. What to do if Dad remarries.
Oh. She was already quiet, but that barely even registered as a whisper. I wish I had more to say in response to that, but what else can even be said? Oh, she gives Mr. Mo a couple gentle taps, prompting him to crawl off her and into the space between us. With her newfound freedom, Millie stands up to grab a picture from the shelf before returning to my side. Millie's and Caprice's moms, both smiling as wide as they're able, babies cradled in their arms.
That one was left blank. I guess she lost her nerves.
Oh.
Did she run out of time?
I don't know. Maybe.
She strokes the frame a bit with her thumb, slowly and thoughtfully.
Things were so easy before all this. For all of us.
Jesus Christ, that surprised me. Our heart-to-heart is cut short by the echo of the doorbell throughout the house. Millie jumps up in a panic, placing the photo haphazardly on the table before making a beeline for the stairs.
Hey, wait! I'm sorry, I'm not ready yet. Cover for me!
Ow! And she's gone. Mike makes his way out of the kitchen for the first time since this morning to greet me, gazing briefly up the stairs before turning to the door. Mike takes the lead, twisting the doorknob, revealing Caprice and her mother on the other side.
Hey!
Hey!
Hi.
Not as warm as I'd expect two lovebirds to be. I guess walking on eggshells about the entire thing is sort of inevitable given the circumstances.
Olive! Long time no see!
Hi. Spotting me from behind Mike's back, Caprice warms her way past him to greet me properly.
Come in.
Hey, you're looking well.
She readjusts her head with a grin in place of a proper response. Still, it's enough to get the picture. With that out of the way, she makes her way to the Christmas tree, setting down a couple gifts under the tree with an amount of care and restraint I would never have thought her capable of.
Nice to see you again. I was really excited when I heard you'd be coming over.
Me too! The sound of a door closing follows right after the voice pulls my attention away from Caprice and towards her parent.
It's good to see you too, Miss Shifton.
A grimace, and not from me for once. Thankfully, his smile returns not long after.
Charlie works fine. Looks like Millie's picked out someone just as formal as she is. Speaking of which, where is she?
Sleeping. Caprice joins in on a little circle forming around the front door after giving the living room a quick scan for a friend. Mike and I answer by turning our eyes up the stairs.
I'll go get her.
Don't do that. That's the first thing I expected and last thing I wanted to hear.
Let's just hang down here a bit. Give her a minute, okay?
But
It'll be fine. You wanna help me finish up some things in the kitchen in the meantime, Caprice?
yeah, okay.
I'm stunned at how expertly they defused that situation before it even had a chance to ignite. I never say as much in front of Millie, but early impressions show they make a good pair. I should count my blessings. I don't know how well I'd be able to cover for her, let alone against Caprice's energy, so it's a relief that I didn't have to in the first place. As Mike and Caprice disappear into the kitchen, Charlie heads the opposite way, propping herself up in the backside of the couch, beckoning me to follow.
You sleep okay? Mike's not making you take the couch, is he?
He is. You love Twofold? Is this my yes, it is. We started with Millie's route first. Because frankly, design-wise, she appealed to me more. But we're gonna do both. Also, why am I not surprised that you've played this game?
Yeah, but it was fine. I just told Millie this morning it was a better sleep than my actual bed.
I am enjoying it. Gonna try and, I don't know, get somewhere here to end though, because I hope they won't make all of Christmas like this one full thing, because I would like to not stop in the middle of a situation.
Well, if you're sure. You and Millie doing okay? I don't hear from her much these days.
Kind of sadness at the tail end of that, but only a hint. Just enough to make me feel bad for lying about us.
Couldn't be better. Well, there's some stressful stuff going on, I guess, but you know what I mean.
I do, yeah.
After a small sigh, the smile on her face grows.
That's a relief to hear. She's been going through a lot, so I was thrilled when I heard she found someone.
That's not quite the response I expected from the person at the root of most of Millie's stresses. I might think back to the picture of her alongside Millie's mom, and my eyes follow. Charlie takes notice, turning her head back to the photo on the table. We're so excited. Ah! I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I will be playing it a lot this week. Oops. Do you have any kind of... Oh my god, okay. Do not put clothes on your chair that you're actively moving in, because they will fall down. Do you have any kind of like experience on how much time it actually took you to get through a route in this game? Because I cannot gauge how long anything is at all. I've seen a lot of people with like around 24 hours of playtime, so I'm thinking, oh, okay. That's quite a bit. 100% in 17 hours. Alright. Yeah, I mean, playing it on stream, I will probably also reach 20 hours. Simply because reading it all out takes longer. Without a word, she props herself up and circles around the couch, picking the photo frame up with the utmost care. Mo finally takes notice of her presence, hopping off his resting place and rubbing himself fondly across her leg briefly before making his way back into the kitchen.
Someone's been reminiscing.
Smile takes on a new meaning, the sorrow in her eyes telling the true story. She brushes slowly at the edge of the frame with her thumb, mirroring Millie's movements almost exactly. Oh, ouch. Was a little bit fast. True. But the voice acting is top notch, for sure.
Were you too close?
I immediately regret asking. I'm not even sure what I'd do with the answer. Nevertheless, she's all too eager to reply.
Adelaide was my best friend. I think about her every day. I hope Millie knows we at least have that much we can still share together.
And now you're marrying her husband. And yeah. I see how that might be a hard situation to be in.
I'm sorry.
Nothing to be sorry for.
Well, if nothing else, I at least have a name I can put to the face now. Charlie returns the picture to its rightful place, fiddling with the angle a few times before being satisfied enough to walk away and return to the back of the couch. I still don't understand all the details, the entire marriage is one giant blur, but it's hard to believe there's even an ounce of malice in that here. It would be a lot easier if there was.
Dinner's done!
Caprice shouts gets a small jump out of me, while Charlie's entirely unfazed. Charlie and I return to the kitchen entrance, meeting up once again with Mike and Caprice.
You managed to keep him from burning the house down, it looks like.
Yay!
If he was gonna do that, it would have already happened. I was just stuck with setting the table. Just a joke. It smells great, Mike.
As always, don't get your hopes up. I haven't been practicing much since Millie moved out.
One of these days, we're going to get you to accept a compliment.
If you ever figure out how, let me know. I've been trying for about 21 years now.
There she is! All four of us immediately shift our eyes up the staircase as Millie makes her descent. The gentle smile on her face is undoubtedly a result of her working up the nerves to come back down.
It's good to see you. I was worried you were gonna miss the entire night.
See, Caprice, when you say things like that, it makes people immediately want to leave the function again. You probably don't even mean this in a bad way at all. But this is the type of thing that turns me off from family functions as well. It's like, oh, so good to finally see you again. Like, it's been such a long time. Or, guess who left the room for once? Like, it's not fun. It's not fun. Makes me immediately want to turn around and go, nope, guess I'm not coming. Bye.
Oh, you know, just wanted to be fashionably late. Hard to pull off when you live here, though.
She's your baby.
Well, you managed it anyway.
Yeah. Millie laughs under her breath, and the tensions in the room immediately lighten. It's hard to tell if things are really okay, but if both of them are putting in the effort, this night might turn out okay after all. It would be nice. Dinner went as well as it could have. Kind words, catching up, but the odd friendly ribbing here and there. There were also a lot of unsettled pivots away from certain points of discussion as well. Sweeping the conversation under the rug, but for the sake of the holiday, it was probably for the best. The rest of the evening has been taken up by unwrapping gifts. It's a modest pile, but it just allows people more time to say their thank yous after each one. Millie gives me a countertop rice cooker, just big enough for a couple cups, likely due to my recent complaining that mine broke a while back. Damn, you have a rice cooker? In return, I managed to find a hardcover copy of one of her favorite novels after learning she likes to collect special editions of her favorite. Awkward as it is, no one seems to notice or comment how the most will do after gift is a pat on the back or hug. Our individual piles start to grow as the one under the tree continues to shrink. In the end, all that remains is a thin, medium-sized rectangle, from Caprice to Millie. Mike passes it up to her before resuming his place, standing at the edge of the couch next to Charlie. What is it? She absentmindedly tears away at the wrapping as Caprice starts to slowly lean in to watch. Curiosity gets the better of me and I follow her lead. Millie's smile drops.
Caprice, what is...
Charlie and Mike circle around to peek. They both seem just as shocked as Millie. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, we don't have a rice cooker. We don't. My parents are not big fans of rice, and I am forever dismayed. As she tears away the rest of the paper, the gift fully realizes itself as a painting of Millie's mom. I'm not an artist by any stretch, but even I'm impressed by the quality of it. even if I'm sure that's not the reason why everyone else in the room looks so stunned.
I was originally gonna do it myself. I had been working on it for months, but it just wasn't where I wanted it to be, and I needed it to be perfect. Eileen's the best in the biz when it comes to painting people. I know you still miss her a lot, so I wanted to get you this. Something brand new of her, like a new memory of her, sorta.
She speaks softly, the sincerity plain in her voice. It just makes the accompanying silence that much more painful.
I thought maybe we could hang it up somewhere, together. I don't want you to forget your mom either, Millie. I wanted to prove that. But maybe with this, we can move on too?
Time passes in total silence, everyone waiting for any sort of response.
Ring is missing.
Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. The voice acting is so good.
Huh?
Her wedding ring.
Oh, well, that's not a big deal, I'm sure.
Not a big deal. It's part of who she was.
Oh boy. Millie closes her eyes, transparently to push back some form of frustration while the rest of us look on.
Look, I appreciate it, but I can't accept this. I'm sorry.
Oh? Huh?
Hey, come on. Eileen only agreed to help with this because it was for you. People care about you, you know?
The priest attempts to playfully keep the mood up, but her voice doesn't match her face. Her smile is strained and Millie avoids her gaze completely.
I don't need your club to look after me.
Well, one of them has to.
Millie's expression walks from its previously confused, hard-to-read state into one of anger, staring daggers into Caprice.
Caprice, hey.
Charlie's weak attempt at talking down her daughter is an undertone of resignation. It's too late to put this back in its box, and everyone knows it.
You surround yourself with negative people and experiences, and then wonder why you feel so down in the dumps.
Don't do that. On fucking Christmas? Oh no.
You aren't stupid. You know the club stuff isn't what this is about.
I have no idea what this is about. You never try to explain anything, and when we do finally get you to open up, it's all a big contradictory mess.
You never tried to explain anything, but she doesn't owe you an explanation, and yet you keep pushing her for something that she is not ready to give you, and then you complain when she's in a bad mood or it doesn't make sense. Are you hearing yourself? The volume continues to rise even through clenched teeth. They're both close to breaking, and I'm dreading finding out which one cracks first.
Oh, I just don't want Mom to be forgotten. Oh, I don't want this reminder of Mom because of some dumb ring.
Yikes.
If it's so dumb, then why are we all making such a big deal about your mom having one now?
Oh no, Caprice physically recoils back in anger, unsure of how to process that. Her mother keeps her eyes trained downward, fidgeting with a band on her finger.
How can you even say that with a straight face? What's your problem?
Oh, sorry. Guess it's only dumb when it's important to me. Lesson learned.
Oh my.
Mom and I love you. I just want you to talk to us.
And I just want you both out of my life!
Uh-oh. Oh no. Not waiting for a rebuttal, Millie hastily grabs her coat from the coat rack at the door and opens it all in the span of a few seconds. I go to follow on instinct before I stop dead in my tracks as she turns to face me.
Stay here, Olive. I want... Please.
Oh, yikes. My legs want to deny her more than anything, but my mind refuses to take another step. As the door slams behind her, my heart shatters. Turning my attention back to the couch reveals a totally different scene than the one that was there just minutes ago. Charlie storms forward, her face buried deep in her hands.
Oh, Aid.
Mike places a hand on one of her shoulders, giving it a supportive shake. He gently picks up the piece of art that unraveled everyone's best intentions for the night.
It's a beautiful painting, Caprice. Thank you.
Wordlessly, Caprice stands and leaves the room, slamming the door to the guest room behind her. Incredibly out of my element and with nowhere else to go, I head to the kitchen and bury all my emotions into the waiting pile of dishes, pots, and pans. As I clean, I feel my face getting harder and tears prick at my eyes. Oh no, I should have said something. I should have done something. I should have followed her. I should have done anything instead of just standing there. The night ends with Caprice and Charlie quietly leaving, Mike disappearing into his bedroom, and me falling asleep at the kitchen table waiting for me. Oh no. Oh well, here's my fun little break thingy that I could use to say, okay, we're stopping here for tonight. That's fun. Hi! How are you, Carmen? You managed to come in just at the end of the stream. Oh, yikes. Oh, I mean, I called it. I did say there was going to be something big around Christmas. No, I have to. I'm sorry. At 2 p.11 at night. We're gonna continue on Wednesday. It's not gonna be that long. We're gonna continue this game on Wednesday. I'm sorry we all have to suffer through this cliffhanger now. I am so... Thank you for the pet. Thank you for the pet. Thank you. No, we'll continue. Oh. Ouch. Thank you for the hydrator. Thank you for coming to this Monday stream. We'll continue with this game on Wednesday. Yeah. Same time as today.
Thank you for the stream. No, thank you for coming.
I'll send you over to Fua, who's playing the Bookwalker. I don't know what that's about, but it has book in the title, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably something that's of interest to me. See you next time.
See you next time. Let me just do this.
And actually, maybe put up the raid, otherwise it's not gonna work. Ha 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 ha. There we go.
Here's the raid message.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by.
See you very, very soon. Good night. And bye-bye. Bye-bye.